One little piece of misinformation can break down communication between people, causing every person it touches to become infected and contagious to others. Imagine that every single time others gossip to you, they insert a computer virus into your mind, causing you to think a little less clearly every time. Then imagine that in an effort to clean up your own confusion and get some relief from the poison, you gossip and spread these viruses to someone else. Now imagine this pattern going on in a never-ending chain between all the humans on Earth. The result is a world full of humans who can only read information through circuits that are clogged with a poisonous, contagious virus. Once again, this poisonous virus is what the Toltecs called the Mito, the chaos of 1,000 different voices all trying to talk at once in the mind. Even worse are the black magicians or computer hackers, who intentionally spread the virus. Think back to a time when you or someone you know was angry with someone else and desired revenge. In order to seek revenge, you said something to or about that person with the intention of spreading poison and making that person feel bad about him or herself. As children, we do this quite thoughtlessly, but as we grow older, we become much more calculated in our efforts to bring other people down. Then we lie to ourselves and say that person received a just punishment for their wrongdoing. When we see the world through a computer virus, it is easy to justify the cruelest behavior. What we don't see is that misuse of our word is putting us deeper into hell. For years we have received the gossip and spells from the words of others, but also from the way we use our word with ourselves. We talk to ourselves constantly, and most of the time we say things like, "Oh, I look fat, I look ugly. I'm getting old, I'm losing my hair. I'm stupid, I never understand anything. I will never be good enough, and I'm never going to be perfect." Do you see how we use the word against ourselves? We must begin to understand what the word is and what the word does. If you understand the first agreement, be impeccable with your word, you begin to see all the changes that can happen in your life. Changes first in the way you deal with yourself, and later in the way you deal with other people, especially those you love the most. Consider how many times you have gossiped about the person you love the most to gain the support of others for your point of view. How many times have you hooked other people's attention and spread poison about your loved one in order to make your opinion right? Your opinion is nothing but your point of view. It is not necessarily true. Your opinion comes from your beliefs, your own ego, and your own dream. We create all this poison and spread it to others just so we can feel right about our own point of view. If we adopt the first agreement and become impeccable with our word, any emotional poison will eventually be cleaned from our mind and from our communication and our personal relationships, including with our pet dog or cat. Impeccability of the word will also give you immunity from anyone putting a negative spell on you. You will only receive a negative idea if your mind is fertile ground for that idea. When you become impeccable with your word, your mind is no longer fertile ground for words that come from black magic. Instead, it is fertile for the words that come from love. You can measure the impeccability of your word by your level of self-love. How much you love yourself and how you feel about yourself are directly proportionate to the quality and integrity of your word. When you are impeccable with your word, you feel good, you feel happy and at peace. You can transcend the dream of hell just by making the agreement to be impeccable with your word. Right now I am planting that seed in your mind. Whether or not the seed grows depends upon how fertile your mind is for the seeds of love. It is up to you to make this agreement with yourself. I am impeccable with my word. Nurture the seed, and as it grows in your mind, it will generate more seeds of love to replace the seeds of fear. This first agreement will change the kind of seeds your mind is fertile for. Be impeccable with your word. This is the first agreement that you should make if you want to be free, if you want to be happy, if you want to transcend the level of existence that is hell. It is very powerful. Use the word in the correct way. Use the word to share your love. Use white magic, beginning with yourself. Tell yourself how wonderful you are, how great you are. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Use the word to break all those tiny, agreements that make you suffer. It is possible. It is possible because I did it, and I am no better than you. No, we are exactly the same. We have the same kind of brain, the same kind of bodies. We are humans. If I was able to break those agreements and create new agreements, then you can do the same. If I can be impeccable with my word, why not you? Just this one agreement can change your whole life. Impeccability of the word can lead you to personal freedom, to huge success and abundance. It can take away all fear and transform it into joy and love. Just imagine what you can create with impeccability of the word. With the impeccability of the word, you can transcend the dream of fear and live a different life. You can live in heaven in the middle of thousands of people living in hell because you are immune to that hell. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Chapter 3. The second agreement. Don't take anything personally. The next 3 agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, "Hey, you are so stupid," without knowing you, it's not about you, it's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, "How does he know? Is he clairvoyant, or can everybody see how stupid I am?" You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you, and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. During the period of our education, or our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of me. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during domestication. If someone gives you an opinion and says, "Hey, you look so fat," don't take it personally, because the truth is that this person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send poison to you, and if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for these predators, the black magicians. They can hook you easily with one little opinion.
Good day, folks.
Feed you
It's
whatever
time to get
poison
ready
you
for the
want.
dramatic
And because you
season-long
take it
race for the
personally,
FedEx
you eat
Cup.
it up.
Brought to you by 2K
You eat all their
Sports and
emotional
the
garbage,
PGA Tour.
and now it
It's
becomes
moving
your
day at the
goggles.
Daybreak Classic, and
But
we're
if you
ready
do
to
not
bring you
take it
all the
personally,
action.
you are
It's
immune
terrific
in
to
the
have your
middle of hell.
company. I'm Luke Elvey. Let's get to
Immunity to
it.
poison
As
in
we
the middle
begin
of
our
hell is
day,
the
our
gift of this
featured player
agreement.
is tied first place.
When you take
Let's
things
see how he
personally,
deals with the
then you
pressure.
feel offended, and your
Now to the
reaction
first
is to
hole.
defend your beliefs and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little,
Let's see
because you
what
have the
kind of
need to
tone he
be
sets
right
for
and
himself
make
today.
everybody else wrong. You also try hard to be right by giving them your own opinions. In the same way, whatever
that's a
you
tough
feel
break.
and do is just a
Kenny, is
projection
that
of your
line
own
okay?
personal dream,
Nah, this
a
is so
reflection
good.
of
The
your own
bunker isn't
feelings.
even a trap.
What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made, and these opinions have nothing to do with me. It is not important to me what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, "Miguel, you are
He's
the
not hit the
best,"
mark on that
and I
approach.
also don't take it
Oh, the
personally when they
wind
say,
wreaks havoc with
"Miguel,
another
you are the
golf ball.
worst." I know that when you are happy you will tell me, "Miguel, you are such an angel," but when you are mad at me you will say, "Oh, Miguel, you are such a devil," or "You are so disgusting." How can you say those things? Either way, it does
And
not
if this
affect
can
me
go
because I
down,
know what I
he'll
am.
save par.
I don't have the need to be accepted. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, "Miguel, you are doing so good," or How dare you do that? No, I don't take it personally.
Oh, and gets the
Whatever you
putt to
think,
drop.
whatever you feel,
What a
I
great
know is
display
your
of
problem,
resilience
not
on
my
this hole.
problem.
Yeah, in the bunker,
It is the
off
way
the
you see the
tee,
world.
great recovery.
It is nothing personal, because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So nothing they think about me is really about me, but it
Oh,
is about
golf
them.
clap. That's a beauty.
You may even tell me, Miguel, what
Well,
you are
Rich,
saying
this looks
is
like a
hurting me.
familiar spot for this
But it
player.
is not what I am
Yes,
saying
and
that
let's
is
hope
hurting
it's
me.
not a
It
similar
is that you
results
have
as
wounds
yesterday.
that are touched by what I have said. You are hurting yourself. There is no way that I can take this personally. Not because I don't believe in you or don't trust you, but because I know that you see the world with different eyes, with your eyes. You create an entire picture or movie in your mind, and in that picture you are the director, you are the producer, you are the
Come
main
on,
actor
yo.
or
Didn't look to hit
actress.
that one quite so flush.
Everyone else
A
is a
bit too much
secondary
club
actor
there.
or actress.
All right.
It is your
Facey a little
movie.
up and down here to save the
The way
par.
you see that movie is according to the agreements you have made with life. Your point of view is something personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. Then, if you get mad at me, I know you are dealing with yourself. I am the excuse for you to get mad. And you get mad because you are afraid, because you are dealing with fear.
Yeah, that's
If
a
you
top
are
little
not
chip
afraid,
shot, that
there
one.
is no way you will get
Just
mad
a
at me.
4-footer remaining.
If you are
Trying
not
to
afraid,
save
there
a
is no
par
way you
here.
will hate me. If you are not afraid, there is no way you will be jealous or sad. If you live without fear, if you love, there is no place for any of those emotions.
No movement up
If you
or
don't
down
feel
on the
any of those
leaderboard for
emotions,
this
it
player.
is logical that you will feel
This
good.
hole here is a par 4.
When you feel
The
good,
driver not
everything around you
required,
is
just
good.
anything to put your
When
tee shot
everything
in the
around you is
fairway.
great,
Second shot
everything
will
makes
be
you
is
happy.
shortish in length, but
You are
again,
loving
a
everything that is
green
around
that
you
has runoff
because
areas
you
in
are
all
loving
kinds of
yourself.
directions. Still a good
Because you
birdie
like the way you
opportunity.
are. Because you are content with you. Because you are happy with your life. You are happy with the movie that you are
Time for
producing,
the second shot
happy
into the
with your
third.
agreements with life. You are at peace, and you are happy. You live in that state of bliss where everything is so wonderful, and everything is so beautiful. In that state of bliss you are making love all the time with everything that you perceive. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they are not saying that because of you. You know you are
Oh,
wonderful.
man.
It is not necessary to
Lining
believe
up the
other
birdie
people
putt
who
here.
tell you that you are wonderful.
Okay, John, what's he
Don't
looking at
take
with this
anything
putt?
personally. Even if someone
37
got a
feet
gun
at
and shot you in
least
the
to
head,
the cup from
it
here,
was
guys.
nothing personal. Even at that extreme. Even the opinions you have about yourself are not necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind personally. The mind has the ability to talk to itself, but it also has the ability to hear information that is available from other realms.
Starting this one out to the
Sometimes
left.
you hear a
Watch it
voice
come
in your
back,
mind,
though.
and you may wonder where it came from.
So close.
This voice may
Not a
have
bad
come from
effort
another
right there
reality
from
in
long
which there
range.
are living
Big breaking
beings
putt.
very
He
similar to
just
the
didn't
human
quite
mind.
read it right, but it'll be
The
an easy
Toltecs
par.
called these beings allies.
And finishing this
In
hole with
Europe,
a tap-in putt.
Africa, and India they called them the gods. Our mind also
Sitting at
exists in the
minus
level of the
11
gods.
overall.
Our mind also lives in that reality, and can perceive that reality. The mind sees with the eyes and perceives this waking
And now
reality.
onto the par 4 fourth hole.
But the mind
Your
also
tee shot
sees and
through a little
perceives
bit of
without
shoot
the
there.
eyes,
Fairway
although the
canvas from
reason is
left
hardly
to
aware
right.
of this perception.
Next shot, straight back
The
up the
mind
hill. You
lives
got a
in more
little
than
bit
one
of room
dimension.
out to the right-hand side that
There
you
may be
can
times when you have
use
ideas
to
that
bank
don't
your golf
originate
ball
in
off
your
of
mind,
and get it
but
back
you are
on the green.
perceiving them
This
with
is
your
a
mind.
daunting prospect of a
You have
hole.
the right to believe or not believe these voices, and the right not to take what they say personally. We have a choice whether or not to believe the voices we hear within our own minds, just as we have a choice of what to believe and agree with in the dream of the planet. The mind can also talk and listen to itself. The mind is divided as your body is divided. Just as you can say, I have one hand, and I can shake my other hand, and feel the other hand. The mind can talk to itself. Part of the mind is speaking, and the other part is listening. It is a big problem when 1,000 parts of your mind are all speaking at the same time. This is called a metote, remember? The metote can be
Time for the
compared to a
second
huge
shot here at the
marketplace where
4th.
thousands of people are talking and bartering at the same time. Each one has different thoughts and feelings. Each one has a different point of view. The programming in the mind. all of those agreements we have made are not necessarily compatible with each other. Every agreement is like a separate living being. It has its own personality and its own voice. There are conflicting agreements that go against other agreements and on until it becomes a big war in the mind. The method is the reason humans hardly know what they want, how they want it, or when they want it. They don't agree with themselves because there are parts of the mind that want one thing, and other parts that want exactly the opposite.
He may not have
Some
enough
part
club
of
to
the
reach the
mind
green
has
here.
objections to certain thoughts and actions, and another part supports the actions of the opposing thoughts.
This now,
All
his
these
third
little
shot.
living beings create inner
He's right in the
conflict
hunt,
because
just a
they
shot
are
off the
alive and
pace.
they each have a voice. Only by making an inventory of our agreements will we uncover all of the conflicts in the mind and eventually make order out of the chaos of the method. Don't take anything personally, because by taking things personally you set yourself up to suffer for nothing. Humans are addicted to suffering at different levels and to different degrees, and we support each other in maintaining these addictions. Humans agree to help each other suffer. If you have the need to be abused, you will find it easy to be abused by others. Likewise, if you are with people who need to suffer, something in you makes you abuse them.
9 feet
It is
to the
as if
cup.
they have a note on their back that says, "Please kick me." They are asking for justification for their suffering. Their addiction to suffering is nothing but an agreement that is reinforced every day. Wherever you go, you will
And
find
he'll drop
people
down the
lying to you,
leaderboard after
and
that
as your
effort.
awareness grows, you will notice that you also lie to yourself. Do not expect people to tell you the truth, because they
We've
also
arrived
lie
now
to
to par 5,
themselves.
5th hole.
You have to trust yourself and choose to believe or not to believe what someone says to you. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, it is okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. They are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing, but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth about it may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain. Healing is on the way, and it's just a matter of time before things will be better for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. If that person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Then you can choose what you really want. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself to make the right choices. When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear, and
That's
even your
nicely done.
sadness will simply disappear if you don't take things personally.
He has his eyes
If you
set
can make
on
this
one
second
place
agreement a
and
habit,
one place
you will
only.
find that
It's the
nothing can
green.
put you back into hell. There is a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. You become immune to black magicians,
It
and no
looks like
spell
he's
can
thinking
affect you
about going for the
regardless of
green
how
here.
strong it may be. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. You can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing
I
personally
thought
helps
that
you to
one was
break
going
many
in.
habits and routines that
Just a
trap
tiny
you in the
putt
dream
is
of
all
hell
that
and cause
remains.
needless suffering. Just by practicing this second
And
agreement,
that's
you
a
begin
great
to
way to
break
forget
dozens
about
of
that bogey on the last.
tiny agreements that cause you to suffer.
The
And
leader
if you
now
practice
has
the
a
first two
one-stroke
agreements,
advantage.
you will break 75% of the teeny, tiny agreements
We've
that keep
arrived
you
now
trapped
on
in
the
hell.
6th, which is a par 3.
Write this agreement
Yeah,
on paper
not too much
and put
to
it on
this
your
one other than
refrigerator
the
to
fact that
remind
you've
you
got a
all the time.
minuscule
Don't take
green
anything
here, and you
personally.
got a lot of runoff areas
As you make
into
a
both
habit of not
bunkers,
taking anything
right
personally,
and left.
you won't need to place your trust in what
Difficult
others
to
do or
find
say.
the surface in
You
one.
will only need to
Par is
trust
going to be a
yourself to
good
make
score.
responsible choices. You are never responsible for the actions of others. You are only responsible for you. When you truly understand this, and refuse to
Opting
take
for the
things
5
personally,
wood.
you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others.
Always
you
frustrated by
disagree,
missing a
you
green.
can travel
Oh,
around
look
the
at
world
that.
with
The
your heart
wind just
completely
wreaking
open, and
havoc
no
with
one
that
can hurt
shot. Disappointing.
you. You can say, I love you, without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say
Right
yes,
by the
or
hole.
you can say no, whatever you
Big par
choose,
saver coming up for
without
this fella.
guilt or self-judgment.
John, have you got a good read
You
on this
can
one?
choose to follow
I
your
think
heart
this one
always.
is going to be breaking hard to
Then
the left.
you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss, and hell will not affect you at all. Chapter 4. The Third Agreement. Don't make assumptions. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. You have
And the
the
par
tendency
putt
to make
just slides
assumptions
by
about
there.
everything.
That's
The
disappointing.
problem with making
And
assumptions
just a
is
little
that we
bit of
believe
clean-up
they are
work
the
remaining
truth.
on this hole.
We could swear they are real. We make assumptions
Just
about
2
what
shots
others are
back
doing
after
or
that
thinking.
hole.
We take it personally.
Let's see
Then
what
we
happens
blame them
here
and
on the
react by
7th.
sending emotional
Yes,
poison
dogleg
without
from
words.
left to right.
That is why
The
whenever
longer
we
the
make
hitter, the more of
assumptions,
that
we're
dogleg
asking
they will
for
cut off,
problems.
reducing the
We
hole
make an
in
assumption,
size,
we
which will be
misunderstand, we
helpful
take it
because you get
personally,
to go into this
and we end up
raised
creating a
green with
whole
such a
big
short
drama for
iron.
nothing. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life is rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. The whole war of control between humans is about making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and taking it personally.
This one
Because
looks to be on a pretty
usually
good
we start
line.
gossiping about our assumptions.
A wonderful
Remember,
shot and a
gossiping
chance
is
for
the way
birdie
we
here at the 7th.
communicate to each other in the dream of
Hasn't
hell
managed
and
to birdie this
transfer
hole this
poison to
week.
one another. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and believe we are right about the assumptions. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong.
You know, it's not if
It
you
is
make
always better
bogeys,
to ask
it's how you
questions than to
respond.
make an assumption.
Well done.
Because assumptions set us
Trailing
up
by
for
a
suffering.
stroke after that
The
hole.
big metote in the
Here
human
we
mind
are, hole
creates a
8.
lot of
It's a par
chaos
4.
which causes
Only
us
the
to
longest hitters are going to
misinterpret
be able to
everything
find
and
this green
misunderstand everything.
in two, but if they want
We
to
only see
keep
what
it
we
on
want
this
to see
green, they're
and
going to
hear
need
what
a
we want
little
to
bit of
hear.
luck here because this
We don't
green,
perceive things
no
the way they
bunkers
are.
surrounding it, but
We
there
have
are
the habit of
very
dreaming with
few
no
flat
basis
spots
in
around
reality.
it. If you want to make
We
birdie,
literally
you
dream
better have a
things up in
keen
our
short game.
imaginations.
Well, this is a
Because we
touch
don't
of
understand
deja vu,
something,
isn't it?
we make an
Taking this
assumption
approach on
about the
from the
meaning.
same spot.
And when the
Hopefully it's
truth
not
comes
deja
out,
vu
the
all
bubble of our
over
dream
again as he
pops,
missed the green
and we find
yesterday.
out it was not what we thought it was at all. An example, you are walking in the mall, and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles, and then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions just
In
because
this
of this
wind,
one
what that
experience.
says to me is he struck
With
that
these
good.
assumptions, you can create a whole fantasy.
This
And
putt
you really
is
want
of
to
9
believe this
feet.
fantasy and make it
This
real.
for a birdie
A whole
run.
dream begins to form just from your assumptions. And you can believe, oh, this person really likes me. In your mind, a whole relationship begins from that. Maybe you even get married in this fantasy land. But the fantasy is in your mind, in your personal dream. Making assumptions in our relationships
And
is
this
really
putt coming
asking
up
for
for his
problems.
par.
Often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think and that we don't have to say what we want. We assume
Job done.
they are going
Let's
to
head
do
to
what
the
we
next.
want because they know
He's
us so
currently
well.
tied for 3rd.
If they don't do what
On
we
the tee
assume
now
they
with a
should
par
do,
3 9.
we feel so hurt
Yes,
and
you
sad.
got deep bunkers both
should
front
have known.
and back, and the
Another
green
example,
tends to
you decide
chase
to get married,
towards them.
and you make the
Anything out to the
assumption that your
right-hand
partner
side
sees
into a
marriage the
little
same way
safe
that you
zone
do.
is what I would call it.
Then you live
That's the
together,
play.
and you find out this is not true.
Opting for the 6 iron.
This creates a lot of conflict, but you still don't try to clarify your feelings about marriage.
Yep, that shot's
The
safely on
husband
the green.
comes home from work and the wife
Okay,
is
Henny,
mad,
what's he
and the
looking at with
husband
this
doesn't
putt?
know why.
Setting up this putt
Maybe
15
it's
feet
because the
from the
wife
cup.
made an assumption. Without telling him what she wants, she makes an assumption that he knows her so well, that he knows what she wants, as if he can read her mind. She gets so upset because he fails to meet her expectations. Making assumptions in relationships leads to a lot of fights, a lot of difficulties, a lot of misunderstandings with people we
This
supposedly
one
love.
just outside 7
In any
feet to the
kind of
hole.
relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. They are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, what we assume they should do, we feel
And it's a
hurt.
one-stroke par 4 for
How
our
could you
leader
do
over
that?
the field.
You should know. Again, we make the assumption that the other person knows what we want. A whole drama is created because
Oh,
we
looking to
make
make
this
a statement
assumption
here.
and then
Going
put
with
more
driver off the
assumptions on
tee.
top of it.
Just a long
It is
straightaway
very
par
interesting
5.
how the
Really
human
not
mind
much
works.
to it off the tee.
We have the
Second
need to
shot, you've got to
justify
be
everything,
mindful to put
to
it your
explain
third
and
shot in a
understand
good
everything
position
in
to
order to feel
maximize
safe.
spin so you can control
We have
what the
millions of
golf ball
questions
does
that
once
need
it
answers
lands on this
because there are
green.
so many things that the
Couple of
reasoning mind
birdies and a
cannot
couple of
explain.
bogeys. Needs to get
It
something
is
going
not
here
important
today.
if the answer is correct.
Second
Just the
shot
answer
here at
itself
the
makes
10th.
us feel safe. This is why we make assumptions. If others tell us something, we make assumptions. And if they don't tell us something, we make assumptions to fulfill our need to know and to replace the need to communicate. Even if we hear something and we don't understand, we make assumptions about what it means and then believe the assumptions. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. These assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously most of the time, because we have agreements to communicate this way. We have agreed that it is not safe to ask questions. We have
well
agreed that
played.
if people love us, they should know
Putting
what
for
we
birdie
want
here.
or how we feel. When we believe something, we assume we are right about it to the point that we will destroy relationships in order to defend our position. We make the assumption that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we
Xander
judge,
Schauffele is
and
leading
abuse
as
the
we
way
move on
we
to the next
abuse.
hole.
This is the biggest assumption that humans make.
Here we have a long
And this
par
is why we
4.
have a
It's
fear
going
of
to take
being
2 great
ourselves
shots to
around
get
others.
on.
Your
Because
driver
we think
not
everyone
really
else will judge
necessary
us,
off this hole.
victimize
You
us,
just need to
abuse
make sure
us,
you find
and
the
blame us
fairway.
as we do
From
ourselves.
there, you've got 2 bunkers
So
on the
even
left of
before
the
others
green
have a
protecting
chance to
wayward
reject
shots
us,
and a
we have
third
already
back
rejected
right.
ourselves.
This is another
That
solid
is the way
hole.
the human mind works.
Playing from around
We also make
160
assumptions about
yards.
ourselves, and
Only
this
2
creates a
shots
lot
off the
of inner
pace.
conflict. I think I am able to do this. You make this assumption, for instance, then you discover you aren't able to do it. You overestimate or underestimate yourself because you haven't taken the time to ask yourself questions and to answer them. Perhaps you need to gather more facts
Yeah,
about
not
a
a bad
particular
shot, that one.
situation. Or maybe you need to stop
This
lying
putt
to yourself
is for
about
a
what you
sheriff
truly
second.
want.
And he's
Often
down
when you
there.
go into a
You got a
relationship
read?
with someone you
I'm
like,
down here.
you have
I've
to
done the
justify
read,
why
and
you like
this
that
is a
person.
left to righter.
You only see what you want to see and you deny there are things you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions, and one of the assumptions is, my love will change this person. But this is not true. Your love will
It's
not
just about
change
3 feet
anybody.
away.
If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them.
Yeah, well hold.
Then something
Let's move
happens
on to the
between the
next.
two of you, and you get hurt.
Welcome to the par 4, 12th hole.
Suddenly you see what you didn't want to see before. Only now it is amplified by your emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. We don't need to justify love. It is there
Lovely
or
effort,
not
that.
there.
And
Real
Henny,
love is
what are you seeing
accepting
down
other
there?
people the way
This
they are
whole
without trying
location
to
for him,
change them.
well, it's about
If we try to
185
change
yards
them,
out.
this means we don't really like them. Of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always
He's
better to make
conjured
that
some
agreement with
frozen
someone
rope
who is
here.
exactly the way you want him or her to be. Find someone whom you
Fought
don't have to
against the
change at
wind to
all.
stick that one.
It is much easier
look
to find
to get
someone
to
who is
13
already the
under
way you
par.
want him or her to be,
Henny,
instead of
what's he
trying to
facing with
change
this
that
par?
person.
This one, guys, he's got
Also,
around
that
9
person
feet.
must love you just the way you are, so he or she doesn't have to change you at all. If
Well,
others
that's
feel they
a
have to
nice
change you
line.
back, means
Well
they
done.
really don't love you
Take the
just the
birdie.
way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the
Xander
way
Schauffele,
he or she wants
currently
you
on
to
top
be?
of this one.
We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false
It's time to take a look at this
if you
13th
love me
hole.
the way I am.
Another one of these par
Okay,
fours
take
where you
me.
got to
If
find
you
the
don't love
fairway
me the way I
somehow,
am,
hit a fiddly little cut
okay,
with a
bye-bye.
3-wood or a driver.
Find someone
Again,
else.
second shot
It
back
may
up the
sound
hill to a
harsh,
green that
but
is
this kind of
domed shape.
communication means the
You need to
personal
make sure
agreements we
that
make
you
with
leave
others
it
are
below
clear
the
and
hole
impeccable.
here if at all possible.
Just
This
imagine the
green
day
gets
that you
scary
stop making
fast.
assumptions with your partner, and eventually with everyone else in your life. Your way of communicating will change completely, and your relationships will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. The way to keep yourself from making
Oh,
assumptions
this is on a
is to ask
fantastic
questions.
line. Is it the right distance?
Make sure the communication is
That's an
clear.
absolute ripper.
If you don't
What a
understand,
shot.
ask. Have
7
the
feet
courage
to
to
the cup.
ask questions until
Short
you are
game has
clear
been
as you can be.
absolutely
And even then,
fantastic
do not
today.
assume you know all there is to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. Also, find your voice to ask for what you want. Everybody has the right to tell you no or yes, but you always have the right to
birdie
ask.
number 5. That's a
Likewise,
momentum
everybody
maker,
has the
isn't it?
right to ask you,
Back-to-back
and you
birdies,
have the
moving the
right
right
to say
direction
yes or
there,
no.
Luke.
If you
The
don't
14th
understand
is a
something,
par 4.
it is better
Lay
for
it
you
back
to
short
ask
of
and
that
be
fairway
clear,
bunker with
instead of
3-wood,
making an
or take
assumption.
it on with
The
driver.
day you stop
If you
making
take it on with
assumptions, you will
driver, the second
communicate
shot
cleanly
becomes
and clearly,
much
free
easier,
of
and
emotional
now a
poison.
birdie opportunity
Without
really
making
presents itself.
assumptions, your word
Laying back
becomes
with a
impeccable.
3-wood, find the center of the
With clear
green,
communication,
2-putt, and get
all
out
of your
of here.
relationships will change,
This shot here
not
near
only
the
with your
200
partner,
yard marker.
but with everyone else.
Only one shot off the
You won't need
pace.
to make assumptions because everything becomes so clear. This is what I want. This is what you want.
Looks to be going with a hybrid
If we
here.
communicate in this way,
Well, that'll
our
work.
word
Up on
becomes
the dance
impeccable.
floor. Could have been
If
worse.
all humans could communicate in
And
this
this
way,
putt
with
to move to
impeccability of the
15
word,
under par.
there would be no wars,
Penny,
no
take us through the
violence,
break on this
no
putt.
misunderstandings.
This putt is breaking
All
right to
human
left.
problems would be resolved if we could just have good, clear communication. This, then, is the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. Just saying this sounds easy, but I understand that it is difficult to do.
What a putt that
It
was.
is difficult because we so
And
often
he's
do
moving up the
exactly
leaderboard
the
after
opposite.
that hole.
We have all these habits
Welcome
and
to the
routines
15th.
that we are
It's a
not
par
even
3.
aware of.
Visually, probably the
Becoming
most
aware of these
challenging
habits and
shot
understanding the
players will
importance of
see
this
all
agreement
week
is
long.
the
There's
first
just
step.
a wall of
But
grass,
understanding its
and none
importance
of it
is not
is
enough.
flat right in front of you. You don't see
Information
the
or an
flat
idea
portion
is
of the
merely
green
deceiving your
necessarily.
mind.
You just see the
What will
runoff areas, and
really
usually
make
your
the
golf
difference
ball
is
is
action.
in one of those.
Taking
This
the action
is
over and over again
so
strengthens your
difficult
will,
from
nurtures
a
the seed,
visual
Come on,
perspective.
Noel.
establishes a solid foundation
Standing
for the
over his
new
second
habit
shot.
will.
He shares
After
top
many
spot.
repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature, and you will see how the magic of your word transforms you from a black magician to a white magician. A white magician uses the word for creation, giving,
Didn't
sharing,
that look good
and
for a
loving.
long time?
By making this one
Putting for
agreement
a
a
par
habit,
now.
your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because Spirit moves freely through you. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of the Spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, and the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Toltec.
Currently 15 under
This is the
par for the
path to
event.
personal freedom. Chapter
Teeing
5.
off here on the
The fourth
16th
agreement.
hole.
Always do your best. There is just one more agreement, but it's the one that allows the other three to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about the action of the first three.
Yeah, that one will
Always
play.
do your best.
Taking aim from
Under
about
any
180
circumstance,
yards here.
always do your best, no more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time, so your best will sometimes be high quality, and other times
that
it
was
will
a
not
safe
be as
play.
good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the
All
morning,
these are
your
bonuses.
best will
This
be
putt's
better
from
than
about
when you are
18
tired
feet.
at night.
John, have
Your
you got a
best
read
will
on
be
this
different
one?
when you are
What's it going to
healthy as
do?
opposed to
I
sick,
think
or sober
not a
as
lot of
opposed to
movement,
drunk.
but if any, we'll
Your
move a little
best
bit to
will
the left.
depend on whether you are feeling wonderful and happy, or upset, angry, or jealous. In your everyday moods, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will also change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 new agreements, your best will become better than
Oh,
it
he's put
used
a
to be.
pure stroke on that one.
Regardless of the
Looking
quality,
good.
keep doing your best.
Oh,
No
you
more,
beauty.
no less than your best. If you try too hard to do more
This
than your
17th
best,
hole is a
you will
par
spend
3.
more energy
I
than
cannot
is
look at the
needed, and in
17th
the
hole
end, your
and not
best will
think
be enough.
about the shot that Payne
When
Stewart
you
hit in
overdo,
there
you deplete
back in
your body and go against
1999.
yourself,
It was
and it will
just
take you longer to accomplish your
glorious.
goal.
And when you stand on that
But
tee
if
on
you do
17,
less than your
that's the
best, you
only
subject
image
yourself
that
to
you want to
frustrations,
have.
self-judgment,
Payne Stewart
guilt, and
swinging,
regrets.
balancing, finishing it.
Just do your best,
It was
in any
artistry at its
circumstance in your
best.
life. It doesn't matter
The
if you are sick
perfect
or tired.
wind swing.
If you always do your
Nice and
best, there is
easy.
no way you can judge yourself.
8 feet to the cup.
And if you
All
don't
right,
judge
guys.
yourself, there is no
This
way
for
you are
2
going to suffer
birdies
from
in a
guilt,
row.
blame, and self-punishment. By always doing your best, you will break a big spell that you have been under. There was a man who wanted to transcend his suffering, so he went to a Buddhist temple to find a master to help him. He went to the master and asked, "Master, if I meditate 4 hours a day, How long will it take me to transcend? The master looked at him and said, If you meditate 4 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 10 years. Thinking he could do better, the man then said, Oh, master, what if I meditated 8 hours a day? How long will it take me to transcend?
That's a disappointing part in the end after such a terrific
8 hours
shot
a day,
holding steady in first place after that one.
But why will it take me
This
longer
hole
if I
is a long
meditate
par
more?
4.
The man
Blind
asked.
tee shot here for these
The master
players.
replied,
That's the difficulty
You
here.
are
Just
not
pick
here
a
to
spot in the
sacrifice your
distance
joy
and
or
give
your
her a
life.
whirl. From there,
You are here
you
to live,
actually have an
be happy,
opportunity
and to
on
love.
a flat-ish
If you can do your
kind
best
of
in
green,
2 hours
not
of
nearly
meditation,
as severe
if
as
you
some of
spend
the
8
other ones
hours
on the
instead,
golf course.
you will only
Right-hand
grow tired,
side will
miss
get
the
a
point,
strong
and
workout
you
because
won't
that is
enjoy
the
your life.
most severe. But
Do
if
your
you miss it
best,
on the
and
left-hand
perhaps you will
side,
learn
you
that no
never
matter how
know.
long you
Finishing
meditate,
style with a
you can
birdie?
live,
Why
love,
not?
and be happy. Doing your best, you are going to live your life intensely. You are going to be productive. You are going to be good to yourself. Because you will be giving yourself to your family, to your community, to everything. But it is the action that is going to make you feel intensely happy. When you always do your best, you take action. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it, not because you're expecting a reward.
This putt is about 15
Most
feet
people
to
do
the hole.
exactly the opposite.
All right,
They
John,
only
you've been reading
take
them well
action
all
when they
day.
expect a
Take us
reward,
through this putt.
and they don't
Should
enjoy
start
the
out
action.
straight enough and then have
And
a
that's
little
the
bit
reason
of a
why
break
they
to
don't
the
do their
left
best.
as it nears the hole.
For example, most people go to work every day just thinking of payday, and the money they will get from the work they are
Good
doing.
stroke.
They can hardly wait
And
for
that
Friday or
signs off
Saturday.
on today's
Whatever
round.
day they receive their money to take time off. They are working for the reward, and as a result they resist work. They try to
Okay,
avoid
Rich,
the action,
just
and
around
it
the
becomes
play now.
more difficult,
An exciting
and they
finish we've
don't
got
do
coming
their
up.
best.
Yeah, so far,
They work so
54
hard
good
all
holes
week
of
long,
action,
suffering the
hopefully
work,
18 more to
suffering
come.
the action, not because they like
Well,
to,
on behalf of
but because
myself,
they feel
Rich
they
Beam,
have to.
and all the hard-working folks
They
at
have to
HP
work
Studios,
because they have to
thanks
pay
for
the rent,
tuning in, and we'll see
because
you
they
next
have
time.
to support their family. They have all that frustration, and when they do receive their money, they are unhappy. They have 2 days to rest, to do what they want to do, and what do? They try to escape. They get drunk because they don't like themselves. They don't like their life. There are many ways that we hurt ourselves when we don't like who we are. On the other hand, if you take action just for the sake of doing it, without expecting a reward, you will find that you enjoy every action you do. Rewards will come, but you are not attached to the reward. You can even get more than you would have imagined for yourself without expecting a reward. If we like what we do, if we always do our best, then we are really enjoying life. We are having fun, we don't get bored, we don't have frustrations. When you do your best, you don't give the judge the opportunity to find you guilty or to blame you. If you have done your best and the judge tries to judge you according to your book of laws, you've got the answers. I did my best. There are no regrets. That is why we always do our best. It is not an easy agreement to keep, but this agreement is really going to set you free. When you do your best, you learn to accept yourself. But you have to be aware and learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes means you practice. Look honestly at the results and keep practicing. This increases your awareness. Doing your best really doesn't feel like work because you enjoy whatever you are doing. You know you're doing your best when you are enjoying the action or doing it in a way that will not have negative repercussions for you. You do your best because you want to do it, not because you have to do it, not because you are trying to please the judge, and not because you are trying to please other people. If you take action because you have to, then there is no way you are going to do your best. Then it is better not to do it. No, you do your best because doing your best all the time makes you so happy. When you are doing your best just for the pleasure of doing it, you are taking action because you enjoy the action. Action is about living fully. Inaction is the way that we deny life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day for years because you are afraid to be alive, to take the risk of expressing what you are.
I like this
Expressing
player's
what you
chances.
are
They've
is
been
taking
playing
action.
rock solid the
You
first
can
2
have
rounds.
many great
Even
ideas
though
in
the
your head,
chasing pack
but
does
what
have
makes
some
the
pretty
difference is
heavy
the
duty
action.
names, this player has
Without
shown
action
me the
upon
goods
an
all week
idea,
long.
there will be no
Okay,
manifestation,
he's got that one
no
in the air,
results,
heading
and
out
no
onto the
reward.
fairway. That's going to
A
set
good
the tone
example
for
of
the
this
day.
comes from the story about Forrest Gump.
Well, you'd have to think this
He
person's
didn't
got
have
a
great
head full of
ideas,
confidence,
but he
Rich,
took
coming off a
action.
last start win.
He was
This
happy
player
because he always
has
did his best at
more
whatever he did.
confidence, I believe, than
He
any
was
other
richly
player in the
rewarded without
field at the
expecting any
moment.
reward at
This
all.
should be another good week
Taking
for
action
him.
is being alive. It's taking the risk to go out and express your dream. This is different than imposing your dream on someone else, because everyone has the right to express his or her dream.
That should set up another
Doing
chance.
your best is a great habit to have.
Fantastic look upcoming.
I do my best in everything
An
I do and
opportunity
feel.
for a birdie here.
Doing my best has become a ritual in my life because I made the choice to make it a ritual. It's a belief like any other belief that I choose. I make everything a ritual, and I always do my best. Taking a shower is a ritual for me, and with that action I tell my body how much I love it. I feel and enjoy the water on my body.
It's a big hole.
I do my best to fulfill the needs of my body.
Waist area down the left-hand
I do my
side,
best to
and
give
from
to my
there,
body and
your
to
second
receive
shot
what
to a
my
green
body
that
gives
sits
to me.
slightly
In India,
above
they
the
perform a
fairway,
ritual called
and
puja.
plenty of runoff areas
In this
all
ritual,
around.
they take idols that
that's
represent
a high
God in
caliber
many
shot.
different forms and bathe them,
Time for the
feed
second
them,
shot here
and
on
give
the
their
second
love to
hole.
them. They even chant mantras to these idols. The idol itself is not important. What is important is the way they perform the ritual, the way they say, "I love you, God. God is life." God is life in action. The best way to say, "I love you, God," is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say,
Look at the line on this
"Thank
one.
you, God,"
Get in the hole.
is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment, right here and now. Whatever life takes away from
Lining
you,
up this
let
putt.
it go.
Still some meat on the
When you
bone.
surrender and let go
And
of
he's
the
down
past,
there.
you allow
You got a
yourself
read?
to be fully
The
alive
perfect
in the moment.
leave. Uphill,
Letting
right to
go of the
left.
past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. If you live in a past dream, you don't enjoy what is happening right now because you will always wish it to be different than it is. There is no time to miss anyone or anything because you are alive. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past and being only half alive. This leads to self-pity, suffering, and tears. You were born with the right to be happy. You were born with the right to love,
Oh, that
to
one
enjoy,
started on a
and to
pretty
share
handy
your love.
line. This one's got
You
some
are alive,
momentum to it.
so take your life and enjoy
No.
it. Don't resist life passing through you, because that is God passing through you.
And that
Just
should
your
secure the
existence
par
proves
on
the
this one.
existence of God. Your existence
Looking
proves
ahead,
the
and this
existence of
player's
life
currently
and
tied for
energy.
first in the field,
You don't need
alongside
to know or
Xander
prove anything. Just to be,
This hole is
to
a
take a
par
risk
4.
and enjoy your life
Driver not
is all that
required,
matters.
just anything to put your
Say
tee
no
shot
when you
in
want
the
to say no,
fairway. Second
and yes
shot
when
will
you want
be
to say
shortish
yes.
in length, but again,
You have the right
a
to be.
green that has runoff
You
areas
can
in
only
all
be
kinds
when
of
you do your
directions.
best.
Still a good birdie
When you don't do
opportunity.
your best, you are denying yourself the
Ah,
right
look
to
at
be
this
you.
soar through the air.
That's a seed that you should really nurture in your mind.
He's setting up for his second
You
shot.
don't need knowledge or great philosophical concepts. You don't need the acceptance of others. You express your own divinity by being alive and by loving yourself and others. It is an expression of God to say, "Hey, I love you." The first 3 agreements will only work if you do your best. Don't expect that you will always be able to be impeccable with your word.
That's inside the house of
Your routine
opportunity.
habits are too
Luke,
strong and
nothing gets
firmly rooted
past
in
you.
your mind.
Yes, this kid
But
is a
you can do
stud.
your best.
7
Don't
feet to the
expect
cup.
that you will never take anything personally. Just do your best. Don't expect that you will never make another assumption, but you can certainly do your best. By doing your best, the habits of misusing your word, taking things personally, and making assumptions will become weaker
And
and
that's
less
going to come up
frequent with
short.
time.
Just a tiny putt
You
is
don't
all
need to
that
judge
remains.
yourself, feel guilty,
Well,
or
it was a
punish
wonderful
yourself if you
approach
cannot
shot,
keep
wasn't
these
it? But
agreements.
unfortunately having to settle for
If you're
par.
doing your best, you will
He
feel
finds
good about
himself at the
yourself
top of the
even if you
leaderboard.
still make assumptions,
Let's go to the
still take
fourth.
things
It's a par
personally,
4.
A
and
little bit
still
of
are
a
not
shoot
impeccable
type
with your word.
feeling that you have off this
If you do
tee
your
to a
best
fairway. The
always,
camera's
over and
left
over
to
again,
right.
you will
Second
become a
shot
master of
straight
transformation.
back up the hill. You got a
Practice makes
little
the
bit of
master.
room on the right-hand side that
By
you
doing your
can
best, you become
use
a
to
master.
bank the ball back onto the
Everything you have
green.
ever
It is
learned,
a
you learn
difficult
through repetition.
prospect, though.
You learn
This
to
shot
write, to
from
drive,
around
and
210
even to walk by
yards
repetition.
is currently
You are
tied
a
for the
master
lead.
of speaking your language because you practiced. Action is what makes the difference. If you do your best in the search for personal freedom, in the search for self-love, you will discover that it's just a matter of time before you find what you are looking for.
Well, that'll be one of the shots of the day,
It's
that's
not
for sure.
about daydreaming or sitting for hours dreaming in meditation.
This would be a great up and down.
You have to stand up and be a human. You have to honor the man or woman that you are. Respect your body, enjoy your body, love your body, feed, clean, and heal your body. Exercise and do what makes your body
Lovely
feel
touch.
good.
Well played.
This is a puja to your body,
He's got a
and that
par
is a
putt here.
communion
Let's see if he
between
can make
you
it.
and God. You don't need to worship
And
idols
down
of the
it
Virgin
goes.
Mary,
Let's
the
head to the
Christ,
next.
or the Buddha.
And that'll
You
see
can
him
if you want
remain
to.
in the same
If
spot
it
on the
feels good,
leaderboard.
do it.
Now with the
Your
honour
own
on
body
a
is a
par 5.
manifestation of God, and if you honor your body, everything will change for you. When you practice giving love to every part of your body, you plant seeds of love in your mind, and when they grow, you will love, honor, and respect your body immensely.
Not bad.
Every action then
Second
becomes a
shot here
ritual
on
in
the
which you
5th.
are honoring God. After that, the next step is honoring God with every thought, every emotion, every belief, even what is right or wrong. Every thought becomes a communion with God, and you will live a dream without judgments, victimization, and free of
Well,
the
that's a
need to
handy
gossip
shot.
and abuse yourself. When you honor these 4 agreements together, there is no way that you will live in hell. There is no way. If you are impeccable with your word, if you don't take anything personally, if you don't make assumptions, if you always do your best, then you are going to have a beautiful life.
Wow, that almost went in the hole.
You are going to control your life 100%.
Always nice when you can just go ahead and tap
The
one
4
in for
agreements
birdie.
are a summary of the mastery of transformation.
After that,
One of the
now sitting at
masteries of the
18
Toltec.
under par for the event.
You transform hell
And
into
now
heaven.
onto the par 3,
The
6th
dream
hole.
of the
Again, runoff
planet is
areas both
transformed into your
left and
personal
right
dream
into
of
some
heaven.
pretty
The
deep
knowledge is
bunkers.
there.
Finding the
It's just
green and
waiting for you to
regulation
use it.
is going to be
The 4
key.
agreements are there. You just need to adopt these agreements and respect their meaning and power. Just do your best to honor these agreements. You can make this agreement today. I choose to honor the 4 agreements. It's so simple and logical that even a child can understand them. But you must have a very
This
strong
putt
will,
is for a
a very
big 2
strong
on the
will to keep
scorecard.
these agreements.
What are we looking
Why?
at for this putt, Henny?
Because wherever we
let's
go, we
say
find that our path is
31
full of
feet here.
obstacles. Everyone tries to sabotage our commitment to these new agreements, and everything around us is a setup for us to break them. The problem is all the other agreements that are a part of the dream of the planet. They are alive, and they are very strong. That's why you need to be a great hunter, a great warrior, who can defend these 4 agreements with your life. Your happiness, your freedom, your entire way of living depends on it. The warrior's goal is to transcend this world, to escape from this hell, and never come back. As the Toltecs teach us, the reward is to transcend the human experience of suffering, to become the embodiment of God.
Come on, yo.
That
That's
is
a
the
shame.
reward.
Got a little bit too much
We
of that
really
one.
need to use every bit of power we have to succeed in keeping these agreements. I didn't expect that I could do it at first. I have fallen many times, but I stood up and kept going. And I fell again, and I kept going. I
That's a
didn't feel
wonderfully
sorry for
played chip
myself.
shot there.
There was
This
no
putt's
way that I
about 4
felt
feet
sorry
from the
for
hole.
myself. I said, if I fall, I am strong enough, I'm intelligent enough, I can do it. I stood up and kept going. I fell and I kept going and going.
And as we
each
take a
time
look
it
at the
became
leaderboard,
easier
it's
and easier.
Xander Schauffele in first
Yet,
place.
in the beginning it was so
They've
hard,
now arrived at the
so
par 4
difficult.
7th.
Yes, dog
So if
leg
you
from
fall, do
left
not
to
judge.
right. The longer
Do
the
not
hitter, the
give your
more of
judge
that
the
dog leg they will
satisfaction of
cut off,
turning you into a
reducing
victim.
the hole in
No,
size,
be tough
which
with
will be
yourself.
helpful because you get to go
Stand
into
up
this
and make the
raised
agreement
green
again.
with such a short iron.
Okay, I broke my agreement to be impeccable with my word. I will start all over again. I am going to keep the 4 agreements just for today. Today I will be impeccable with my word. I will not take anything personally. I will not make any assumptions.
And he's safely on the
and I
green
am
with
going
that
to do
shot.
my best. If you break an agreement,
And this putt to
begin
move
again
into a
tomorrow,
share of
and
first
again the next
place.
day.
Penny,
It will be
take us through the
difficult
break
at
on this
first,
putt.
but each
Right
day
to
will
lefter,
become
up
easier
the
and
hill.
easier,
Can be
until someday
positive with
you will
this one.
discover that you are ruling your life with these 4 agreements. And you will be surprised at the way your life has been transformed. You don't need to be religious or go to church every day. Your love and self-respect are growing and growing. You can do it. If I did it, you can do it also.
This player is currently sharing first
Do not
place
be
on the
concerned
leaderboard
about the future.
alongside Xander
Keep your
Schauffele.
attention on today.
Always like to
and
see
stay in
your
the
name
present
moving
moment.
up the leaderboard. Never a bad
Just
thing.
live one day at a time. Always do your best to keep these agreements, and soon it will be easy for you. Today is the beginning of a new dream. Chapter 6. The Toltec Path to Freedom. Breaking old agreements. Everyone talks about freedom. All around the world, different people, different races,
This is his
different
second
countries
shot.
are fighting for freedom.
He's currently tied for the
But
lead.
what is freedom? In America, we speak of living in a free country. But are we really free? Are we free to be who we really are? The answer is no, we are not free. True freedom has to do with the human spirit. It is the freedom to be who
No
we
harm,
really
no
are.
foul there with that
Who
shot.
stops us from being free?
This has been a hole he's
We
unable to
blame
take
the government.
advantage of so
We
far
blame
for
the
this
weather.
event.
We blame our parents. We blame religion. We blame God. Who really stops us from being free? We stop ourselves. What does it really mean to be free? Sometimes we get married and we say that we lose our freedom. Then we get divorced and we are still not free. What stops us?
Nice one.
Why
Fourth
can't
birdie
we
of
be
the day.
ourselves?
Back-to-back
We
birdies,
have
moving the
memories
right
of long
direction
ago,
there, Luke.
when we used to be free and we loved being free. But we have forgotten what
A
freedom
quick look at the
really means.
leaderboard has this player
If we see a
currently in
child who
first
is 2
place,
or 3,
with Xander
perhaps 4
Schauffele in
years old,
second.
we find a free human. Why is this human free?
Time now to
Because
take
this
in the
human
ninth
does
hole.
whatever he or
Yes,
she
you got
wants to
deep
do.
bunkers both front and
human is
back, and the
completely
green
wild.
tends to chase
Just like a
towards
flower,
them.
a
Anything
tree,
out to the
or an animal
right-hand
that
side
has
into a
not been
little safe
domesticated
zone
is wild.
is what I would call it. That's
And
the
if we
play.
observe humans who are 2 years old, we find that most of the time these humans have a big smile on their face and they're having fun. They are exploring the world. They are not afraid to play. They are afraid when they are hurt, when they are hungry, when some of their needs are not met. But they don't worry about the past, don't care about the future, and only live in the present moment. Very young children are not afraid to express what they feel. They are so loving that if they perceive love, they melt into love. They are not afraid to love at all. That is the description of a normal human being. As children, we are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past.
Going with the 6-iron here.
Our normal human
And
tendency
hitting
is
yet
to
another
enjoy
green
life,
here in
to play,
regulation.
to explore,
Dare I
to
say,
be
Luke,
happy,
this
and
player
to
has
love.
been in
But what
fuego
has
with his
happened
approach
with the
shots.
adult human?
Another green in regulation.
Why are we so different? Why are we not wild? From the point of view of the victim, we can say that something sad happened to us. And from the point of view
Mark
of
it
the
down,
warrior,
that's
we can
birdie
say
number
that what
5.
happened to us is normal.
And Rich, as our featured
What
player,
has
makes the
happened is
turn.
that we have the
He
book
seems to be
of
doing
law,
everything
the
right
big
out there.
judge, and the victim
Could be
who
some
rule
trying
our
times
lives.
indeed. Tough holes lay
We
ahead,
are
but
no
yes,
longer
you're
free
in the
because
position
the
that you
judge,
want to
the
be,
victim,
ahead
and
of
the
the
belief
pack.
system don't allow us to be who we really are. Once our minds have been programmed with all that garbage, we are
Going
no longer
and
happy.
going and going.
This chain of training from human to human,
And
from
Rich,
generation to
that
generation,
back-to-back
is
win could be
perfectly
within
normal
reach here.
in
This
human
player can just
society.
gain a few more strokes on the
You
inward
don't
half.
need to blame your
Winning
parents for
last week,
teaching you
this
to be
player's
like that.
full of confidence, and rightly
What else
so.
could they teach you but what they know? They did the best they could, and if they abuse you, it was due to their own domestication, their own fears, their own beliefs. They had no control over the programming they received, so they couldn't have behaved any differently. There is no need to blame your parents or anyone who abused you in your life, including yourself. But it is time to stop the abuse.
That dog will hunt.
It is time to free yourself of the tyranny of the judge by changing the foundation of your own agreements. It is time to be free from the role of the victim. The real you is still a little child who never grew up. Sometimes that little child comes out when you are having fun or playing, when you feel happy, when you are painting, or writing poetry,
Oh, that one
or
just
playing the
missed the
piano,
hole.
or expressing yourself in some way.
This would be a great up and down from
These
this
are
spot.
the happiest moments of your life, when the real you comes out, when you don't care about the past, and you don't worry about the future. You are childlike. But there is something that
He has
changes
this
all
putt
that.
to save
We
his
call
par.
them responsibilities. The judge says, "Wait a second, you are responsible. You have things to do. You have to work. You have to go to school. You have to earn a living." All these responsibilities come
Xander
to mind.
Schauffele is coming off a birdie,
Our
which
face
will take
changes
him to
with
within
that
one
stage.
shot of the lead.
friends, you will see their little faces change.
2 great shots are
Let's
required
pretend
here
I'm a lawyer,
because this hole
and
is a
right
long
away
par
their
4.
faces change.
You
The
driver
adult
not
face
really
takes over.
necessary off this
We
hole.
go
You
to
just
court,
need
and
to
that
make
is the
sure you
face we
find
see.
the fairway.
And that is what we
From
are.
there, you've got 2
We are
bunkers
still
on the
children,
left of the green,
but we have
protecting
lost our
wayward shots,
freedom.
and a third
The
back
freedom we are
right.
looking for
This
is
is
the freedom to
another
be
solid
ourselves,
hole.
to express ourselves.
Playing this shot
But
from
if we
about
look at our
180
lives, we will see
yards.
that most of the time we do things just to please others, just to be accepted by others, rather than living our lives to please ourselves. That is what has happened to our freedom. And we see in our society and all the societies around the world that for every 1,000 people, 999
Not bad at
are
all.
Well, after
The
watching
worst part
that,
is
Tom
that
Kim's
most of us
thinking
are
to
not
himself,
even aware that
I
we are
better
not
up my
free.
game here.
There is something inside
Just
that
3
whispers
feet
to
to the
us that
cup.
we are not free, but we do not understand what it is and why we are not free. The problem with most people is that they live their lives and never
Mark it
discover
down. That's 6
that the
birdies
judge
today.
and the victim rule their mind,
Currently
and
in
therefore they
first
don't have a
position.
chance to be free.
The
The
12th hole
first
is a
step
par
toward
4.
personal freedom is awareness. We need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. We need to be aware of what the problem is in order to solve the problem. Awareness is always the first step because if you are not aware, there is nothing you can change. If you are not aware that your mind is full of wounds and emotional poison, you
Awesome
cannot begin
stuff.
to clean and heal the wounds, and you will continue to suffer.
His
There is
second
no
shot
reason
here.
to suffer.
Currently
With
leading by
awareness, you
2.
can rebel and say, "This is enough." You can look for a way to heal and transform your personal dream. Your dream of the planet is just a dream. It is not even real. If you go into the dream and start challenging
shot
your
there.
beliefs, you will find that most of the beliefs
This
that
one's for
guided you
birdie.
into the wounded mind are not even true. You will find that you suffered all those years of drama for nothing. Why? Because the belief system that was put inside your mind is based on lies. That is why it is important for you to master your own dream. That
And
is why
mark
the
it down.
Toltecs
That's
became
birdie number
dream
7 on the
masters.
scorecard.
Your
I
life
like it.
is the
2 in a
manifestation of
row.
your dream.
He's feeling it.
It is not.
Next up
And you can
is a
change
par
your life
4.
anytime if you
Always a
aren't
stern
enjoying the dream.
test.
Another one of these
Dream
par 4s where
masters
you
create
got
a
to
masterpiece
find
of
the
life.
fairway
They
somehow, hit a
control the
fiddly
dream
little
by
cut with
making
a 3-wood
choices.
or a driver.
Everything has
Again, second shot,
consequences, and a
back
dream
up the hill
master
to a
is
green
aware of
that
the
is domed
consequences.
shape. You need
The
to make
Toltec
sure
is a
that
way
you
of life.
leave it below the hole
It
here,
is a way
if
of
at all
life where there are
possible.
no
This
leaders and
green
no
gets
followers,
scary
where you
fast.
have your own truth and live your own truth. A Toltec becomes wise, becomes wild, and becomes free again. There are 3 masteries that lead people to become Toltecs.
What a shot from the rough.
First
This
is
is
the mastery
gorgeous.
of awareness. This is to be aware of who we really are, with all the possibilities. The
And he's
second is
safely
the
on the
mastery
green.
of transformation,
This
how
putt
to change,
was about
how
16
to be
feet.
free of domestication.
Short game has been
The
especially
third
sharp
is
today.
the
Looks
mastery of
very
intent.
impressive.
Intent from
And
the
he's down
Toltec
there.
point of view is
You
that
got a
part of
read?
life that makes
It's just going to
transformation of energy
cruise up to
possible.
the left-hand
It is the
side.
one living being that seamlessly encompasses all energy, or what we call God. Intent is life itself. It is unconditional love. The mastery of intent is therefore the mastery of love. When we talk about the Toltec path to freedom, we find that they have an entire map for breaking free of domestication. They compare the judge, the
disappointing.
victim, and the belief system to a parasite
Pretty
that invades
straightforward
the human mind.
4-footer coming up here.
From
Who
the
doesn't
Toltec
love a
point
par
of view,
putt?
all humans who are domesticated are sick. They are sick because there is a parasite that controls the mind,
Users just
controls
come in
the
and
brain.
Xander Schauffele has made a
The
birdie in
food
his
for the
last hole.
parasite is
He's
the
now just
negative
2 shots
emotions that
behind.
come from fear.
We've arrived at
If
the
we
par
look
4,
at the
14th
description
hole.
of a parasite,
Decisions
we
to be
find that a
made. Do
parasite
you
is a
take
living being
driver
who
and
lives
try
off
and
of
fit
other
it
living
around that
beings,
fairway bunker,
sucking their
or do you
energy
take
without
3-wood
any
and lay
useful
it back
contribution
of
in
it?
return,
If you take
and
driver
hurting their
out, you're
host
going to have
unit by living.
such an easier
The
second
judge, the
shot.
victim, and the belief
3-wood, a
system
much
fit this
longer
description
shot,
very well.
but there is room to bounce
Together
this
they
golf ball
comprise a
into
living
the
being
screen,
made of
not as
psychic or
severe on the
emotional
edges
energy,
as others.
and that energy is alive. Of course, it is not material energy, but neither are emotions material
Great
energy.
looking shot this.
Our dreams are not
Now
material
that looked pretty
energy,
good the whole way.
but we know they exist.
What
One
an
function of
opportunity
the
to make
brain
a
is to
birdie.
transform material
All right,
energy
Henny.
into emotional
What's he got in
energy.
front of him here with this putt?
Our
Yeah, he's
brain
been
is the
prowling
factory
around
of
this
the
one. It's
emotions,
11 foot out.
and we have said that the main function of the mind is to dream. The Toltecs believe that the parasite,
Go on, get
the
in the
judge,
hole.
the victim, and the
And
belief
another one
system
goes.
has
And
control
with
of
it,
your mind.
an increase
It
of his lead.
controls your personal dream.
Leading by 4
The
strokes
parasite
after that
dreams through
one.
your mind and lives its life through your body.
Teeing off here at
It
the
survives on
15th
the
hole.
emotions that come
This
from fear
green is
and thrives
so
on drama
difficult.
and
It
suffering.
sits above you
The
just
freedom
enough,
we seek
and it
is to
doesn't
use our
look
own
like
mind
there's
and body,
anything
to live
there.
our own life,
You're hitting
instead
to
of the life
a
of the belief
wall
system.
right in front of you, and
When we
all you
discover
can
that the
see
mind
is the
is
golf
controlled
ball
by the judge
disappearing in
and the
every
victim and the
direction
real,
other
us,
than
who's
right
in the
in the
corner,
middle
we
of
have
this
just
green.
two choices.
This is
One
visually
choice is to keep
probably
living
one
the
of
way
the
we are,
difficult
to
shots
surrender to
on
the
this
judge
course.
and the victim. To keep
This
living
is
in
a
the dream
fairly
of the
lengthy
planet.
putt here.
The
Penny,
second
take us
choice
through
is
the
to
break
do
on
what
this
we do
putt.
as children
This
when
one's
parents
going
try
to
to domesticate
gently
us.
meander from the
We
left.
can rebel and say, no. We can declare a war against the parasite, a war against the judge and the victim, a war for our independence, a war for the right to use our own mind and our own brain. That is why in all the shamanic traditions in America, from Canada to Argentina, people call themselves warriors, because they are in a war against the parasite in the
Oh,
mind.
nice stroke.
That is the
Alright,
real
getting
meaning of a
better.
warrior.
Is it going to
The
go
warrior
down?
is one who rebels against the
Oh,
invasion
that's a
of the
great putt.
parasite.
Did everything but drop.
The warrior rebels and
And just a
declares a
little bit
war.
of clean-up work remaining on
But
this
to
hole.
be a warrior doesn't mean
Well,
we
you've got to
always
take
win
your
the
hat
war.
off to this
We
performance.
may win
Now
or we may
23
lose,
under par
but we
with a
always
handful
do
of
our
holes left
best,
to
and
play.
at least we have
What
a
a
chance to
great
be free
feeling
again.
being that far ahead with
Choosing
just
this
4
path
to
gives
play.
us, at the very
Welcome
least,
to the par
the
4
dignity of
16th
rebellion,
hole.
and ensures that we will not be the helpless victim of our own whimsical emotions or the poisonous emotions of others. Even if we succumb
Left
to the
nothing
enemy,
in the tank on
the
that one.
parasite,
That was pummeled.
we will not be among those victims who would not fight back. At best, being a warrior gives us an opportunity to transcend the dream of the planet and to change our personal dream to a dream that we call heaven. Just like hell, heaven is a place that exists within our mind. It is a place of joy, a place where we are happy, where we are free to love and to be who we really are. We can reach heaven while we are alive. We don't have to
Just
wait
a
until
little
we
off with
die.
the accuracy there. Unable
God
to
is
find the
always
green.
present, and the
What a
kingdom of heaven
shame.
is everywhere.
Has
But
hit a
first we
lot of
need to
greens
have the
today,
eyes
just
and
not
ears
on
to
this
see and
occasion.
hear that truth. We need to be free of the parasite.
How about this shot?
The
Heading in
parasite
the
can be
right
compared
direction.
to a monster with 1,000
Well, I hope he
heads.
makes this one. It's for
Every
par.
head of the parasite is one of the fears that we have. If we want
Well
to be
holed.
free,
Let's
we
move
have
on.
to destroy the parasite. One solution
And
is
this
to
is
attack
quality
the
play,
parasite head
still
by
on
head,
top of the
which means
leaderboard.
we face each of our fears, one by
Welcome
one.
to the par 3 17th
This
hole.
is a slow
People talk
process,
about
but it
Payne
works.
Stewart's winning putt on the
Every
18th
time we
hole
face
back in
one of the fears,
1999,
we are a little
but the
more free.
swing that he made on
A second approach
17
is to
that
stop
year
feeding the
is the
parasite.
one that every player
If we don't
should
give the
envision
parasite any
when
food,
they stand
we
on this
kill the
tee box.
parasite by
It
starvation.
was beautiful.
To
It
do
was
this, we have to
artwork.
gain
It was
control of our
poetry in
emotions. We
motion.
have to
It's
refrain
how
from
you
feeling the
should swing
emotions
the
that
golf
come
club.
from fear.
This is the only image
This is
in my
easy to
mind
say,
when I play
but it
this
is very
beautiful par
difficult to
3.
do. It is
Standing
difficult
over his
because the
second
judge
shot.
and the victim control our mind. A third solution is called the initiation of the dead. The initiation of the dead is found in many traditions and esoteric schools around
Looking
the world.
really good.
Wow. We find it in Egypt,
Oh, I love
India,
that. Holding
Greece,
from off
and
the
America.
green.
This
Outstanding.
is a symbolic death
Chip in
which
for
kills the
birdie.
parasite
That's
without
always a
harming
nice
our
feeling.
physical body. When we die, symbolically the parasite has to die. This is faster than the first two solutions, but it is even
Our
more
leader is
difficult to
out
do.
in front by a whopping
We
5
need a great
strokes.
deal of courage to face the angel of death. We need to
Let's
be
head
very
to this
strong.
lengthy par 4.
Let's take a
Fine
closer
tee
look
shot
at
here
each of
for
these
these players.
solutions.
That's the difficulty
The
here.
art
Just
of
pick a spot in the
transformation,
distance and
the
give her a
dream of the
whirl.
second intention.
Second shot up the
We
hill
have learned that
slightly,
the dream
but
you are
do
living
not
now is
miss
the
it too
result of the
far right,
outside
or
dream
you'll find a
taking your
low
attention
area
and
for your
feeding you all
second.
of your beliefs.
Anything missing up to the left-hand
The
side
process of
could kick back
domestication can be
onto
called
the
the dream
green,
of the first
and dare
attention
I
because
say,
it was how your attention
finished with
was
a
used for the
birdie.
first time to create the
From
first
around
dream of your life.
140 yards here.
One way to change your beliefs is to focus your attention on all those agreements and beliefs, and change the agreements with yourself. In doing this, you are using your attention for the second time, thus creating the dream
That
of
was
the
a little
second
bit of
dream
a misfire,
or
I'd
the new
say.
dream.
Ooh,
The
wouldn't it be
difference
nice to
is
chip
that you
this
are
in
no
and
longer
win the
innocent.
tournament?
When you were a child, this was not true. You didn't have a choice. But you are no longer a child. Now it's up to you to choose what to believe and what not to believe. You can choose to believe in anything,
Ooh, that almost went
and that
down.
includes believing in yourself.
This is always a good moment.
The first
Punt
step
to
is
win
to
the
become
tournament.
aware of the fog that is in your mind. You must become aware that you are dreaming all the time.
And you can go ahead and add
Only
another
with
title to
awareness
your
do
list
you
of
have the
wins.
possibility of
A
transforming your dream.
gargantuan win for this
If you have
player.
the awareness that the whole drama of
Congratulations.
your life is the result of what you believe, and what you believe is not real, then you can begin to change it. However, to really change your beliefs, you need to focus your attention on what it is that you want to change. You have
This
to
is
know which
impressive.
agreements you
To
want to
win out
change
here on
before
tour
you
is a
can
big
change
deal, but
them.
to go back to back, Rich,
So the
how
next step
significant
is
is
to
that?
develop awareness
Impressive.
of all the
Absolutely
self-limiting,
impressive.
fear-based
Winning
beliefs that
breeds
make you
winning, but it
unhappy.
also takes a lot out
You
of you.
take
So
an
to
inventory
contend
of all that
again
you
the
believe,
week after
all
winning,
your
boy,
agreements,
I'd say this
and through
player's
this
something
process
special.
you begin the transformation.
Well, that just
The
about concludes
Toltecs
our
call
coverage.
this the art of
On behalf of Rich
transformation,
Beam, I'm
and it's
Lou
a holy
Doherty.
moment.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you
You
tomorrow.
achieve the mastery of transformation by changing the fear-based agreements that make you suffer, and reprogramming your own mind in your own way. One of the ways to do this is to explore and adopt alternative beliefs such as the Four Agreements. The decision to adopt the Four Agreements is a declaration of war to regain your freedom from the parasite. The Four Agreements offer the possibility of ending the emotional pain, which can open the door for you to enjoy your life and begin a new dream. It's up to you to explore the possibilities of your dream, if you are interested. The Four Agreements were created to assist you in the art of transformation, to help you break the limiting agreements, gain more personal power, and become stronger. The stronger you get, the more agreements you can break until the moment comes when you make it to the core of all of those agreements. Going to the core of those agreements is what I call going into the desert. When you go into the desert, you meet your demons face to face. After coming out of the desert, all those demons become angels. Practicing the Four New Agreements is a big act of power. Breaking the spell of black magic in your mind requires great personal power. Every time you break an agreement, you gain extra power. You start by breaking agreements that are very small and require less power. As those smaller agreements are broken, your personal power will increase until you reach a point when you can finally face the big demons in your mind. For example, the little girl who was told not to sing is now 20 years old, and she still does not sing. One way she can overcome the belief that her voice is ugly is to say, "Okay, I will try to sing, even if I do sing badly." Then she can pretend that someone is clapping and telling her, "Oh, that was beautiful." This may break the agreement a tiny bit, but it will still be there. However, now she has a little more power and courage to try again and again until finally she breaks the agreement. That's one way out of the dream hell. But for every agreement you break that makes you suffer, you will need to replace it with a new agreement that makes you happy. This will keep the old agreement from coming back. If you occupy the same space with a new agreement, then the old agreement is gone forever, and in its place is the new agreement. There are many strong beliefs in the mind that can make this process look hopeless. This is why you need to go step by step and be patient with yourself, because this is a slow process. The way you are living now is the result of many years of domestication. You cannot Oh. Oh. Expect to break the domestication in one day. Breaking agreements is very difficult because we put the power of the word, which is the power of our will, into every agreement we have made. We need the same amount of power to change an agreement. We cannot change an agreement with less power than we used to make the agreement, and almost all our personal power is invested in keeping the agreements we have with ourselves. That's because our agreements are actually like a strong addiction. We are addicted to being the way we are. We are addicted to anger, jealousy, and self-pity. We are addicted to the beliefs that tell us, I'm not good enough. I'm not intelligent enough. Why even try? Other people will do it because they're better than me. All of these old agreements which rule our dream of life are the result of repeating them over and over again. Therefore, to adopt the 4 agreements, you need to put repetition in action. Practicing the new agreements in your life is how your best becomes better. Repetition makes the master. The discipline of the warrior. Controlling your own behavior. Imagine that you awake early one morning overflowing with enthusiasm for the day. You feel good. You are happy and have plenty of energy to face the day. Then at breakfast, you have a big fight with your spouse, and a flood of emotion comes out. You get mad, and in the emotion of anger you spend a lot of personal power. After the fight, you feel drained, and you just want to go and cry. In fact, you feel so tired that you go to your room, collapse, and try to recover. You spend the day wrapped up in your emotions. You have no energy to keep going, and you just want to walk away from everything. Every day we awake with a certain amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy that we spend throughout the day. If we allow our emotions to deplete our energy, we have no energy to change our lives or to give to others. The way you see the world will depend upon the emotions you are feeling. When you are angry, everything around you is wrong, nothing is right. You blame everything including the weather. Whether it's raining or the sun is shining, nothing pleases you. When you are sad, everything around you is sad and makes you cry. You see the trees and you feel sad. You see the rain and everything looks so sad. Perhaps you feel vulnerable and have a need to protect yourself because you don't know in what moment someone will attack you. You do not trust anything or anyone around you. This is because you see the world with the eyes of fear. Imagine that the human mind is the same as your skin. You can touch healthy skin and it feels wonderful. Your skin is made for perception and the sensation of touch is wonderful. Now imagine you have an injury and the skin gets cut and infected. If you touch the infected skin, it is going to hurt, so you try to cover and protect the skin. You will not enjoy being touched because it hurts. Now imagine that all humans have this skin disease. Nobody can touch each other because it is going to hurt. Everyone has wounds on their skin, so the infection is seen as normal. The pain is also considered normal. We believe we are supposed to be that way. Can you imagine how we would behave with each other if all the humans in the world had this skin disease? Of course, we would hardly ever hug each other because it would be too painful. So we would need to create a lot of distance between us. The human mind is exactly like this description of infected skin. Every human has an emotional body completely covered with infected wounds. Each wound is infected with emotional poison, the poison of all the emotions that makes us suffer, such as hate, anger, envy, and sadness. An action of injustice opens a wound in the mind, and we react with emotional poison because of the concepts and beliefs we have about injustice and what is fair. The mind is so wounded and full of poison by the process of domestication that everyone describes the wounded mind as normal. This is considered normal, but I can tell you it is not normal. We have a dysfunctional dream of the planet, and humans are mentally sick with a disease called fear. The symptoms of the disease are all the emotions that make humans suffer: anger, hate, sadness, envy, and betrayal. When the fear is too great, the reasoning mind begins to fail, and we call this mental illness. Psychotic behavior occurs when the mind is so frightened and the wound so painful that it seems better to break contact with the outside world. If we can see our state of mind as a disease, we find there is a cure. We don't have to suffer any longer. First, we need the truth to open the emotional wounds, take the poison out, and heal the wounds completely. How do we do this? We must forgive those we feel have wronged us, not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because we love ourselves so much we don't want to keep paying for the injustice. Forgiveness is the only way to heal. We can choose to forgive because we feel compassion for ourselves. We can let go of the resentment and declare, "That's enough. I will no longer be the big judge that goes against myself. I will no longer beat myself up and abuse myself. I will no longer be the victim." First, we need to forgive our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, and God. Once you forgive God, you can finally forgive yourself. Once you forgive yourself, the self-rejection begins over. Self-acceptance begins, and self-love will grow so strong that you will have to accept yourself just the way you are. That's the beginning of healing. Forgiveness is the key. You will know you have forgiven someone when you see them. No longer have emotional reaction. You will hear the name of the person, and you will have no emotional reaction. When someone can touch what used to be a wound and it no longer hurts you, then you know you have truly forgiven. The truth is like a scalpel. The truth is painful because it opens all of the wounds which are covered beneath the soil. These lies are what we call the denial system. It's a good thing we have the denial system because it allows us to cover our wounds instead. But once we no longer have any wounds or any poison, we don't need to lie. We don't need the denial system because a healthy mind, like healthy skin, can be touched without hurting. It's pleasurable for the mind to be touched when it is clean. The problem with most people is that they lose control of their emotions. It is the emotions that control the behavior of the human, not the human who controls the emotions. When we lose control, we say things that we don't want to say, do things that we don't want to do. That is why it is so important.
2K Sports and the PGA Tour are delighted to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. We're at one of golf's iconic venues, Torrey Pines,
How are we
and our
become a
first
warrior?
round coverage of the Farmers
There are
Insurance
certain
Open.
characteristics
It's
of
about
the
to
warrior
begin.
that are nearly
Hello
the same
everyone,
in every
Luke
way.
Elvey here alongside my
The
booth
warrior
mate Rich
has
Beam,
awareness.
and out on the course is Henny
That's
Koyak
very
and
important.
John McCarthy. And
That's
Beamer
war.
certainly set
And
up
the
for a
war
stunner
on
today at
lines
Torrey
requires
Pines
discipline.
South. What do you think
Not
these
the
players
discipline
face
of the
this week from
soldier,
the course?
but the discipline
They
of the
face a
warrior.
rude awakening.
Not the
They
discipline
haven't played
from the
too many golf
outside to
courses
tell us
yet
what
this
to
year,
do
but
and what not
they're
to
going to
do,
run into Torrey
but the
Pines South, and
discipline
you're going
to
to
be
figure out
ourselves,
exactly how good a
no
shape your
matter
golf
what.
game is in,
The
because it's
warrior has
ruthless.
control.
And if you're not
Not
careful,
control
you can
over
go out
another
there
human,
and shoot a big
but
number in a
control
hurry.
over one's
It
own
tests every
emotions,
facet of your
control
game.
over
This
one's
golf
own
course is
self.
an absolute brute.
It is when we lose control
This is
that we
his
repress
second
the
shot.
emotions, not when we are in control. The big difference between a warrior and a victim is that the victim represses, and the warrior refrains. Victims repress because they are afraid to show the emotions, afraid
Oh, that's
to
a
say what they
high-quality
want
shot
to
from
say.
that area.
To refrain is not the same thing as
This
repression.
player's dialed in. What
To
a
refrain
shot.
is to hold the emotions and to
4
express them in
feet
the
to
right
the
moment,
cup.
not before,
This
not later.
for a birdie.
That is why warriors are impeccable. They have complete control
That's
over their
good
own
grit
emotions, and therefore
That's a
over their own
really
behavior.
good effort to get it up and
The
down out of
initiation
that
of the
bunker
day.
for the birdie. Good
Embracing
job.
the angel of death.
Currently 1 under
The final
for the
way to
day.
attain personal freedom is to prepare ourselves
The
for the
second,
initiation
a short
of the day.
par 4,
Take
one that the
death
players
itself
like
as
to
our
take
teacher.
on these days, Rich. A
What the
good
angel
birdie
of
look
death
here.
can teach us is
They
how
do.
to
It
be
used to
truly
be
alive.
where you laid back
We
on
become
top of the
aware that we
hill
can
and
die
took
at
a
any
wedge,
moment.
9
We have
iron
just the
sometimes for your
present to be
second
alive.
shot, but a lot of players now
The
are
truth is
challenging
that we
that
don't
bunker
know
down the
if we are
right-hand
going to die
side, getting as
tomorrow.
far down there as possible,
Who knows?
and just having a
We
flick
have the
with a
idea
sandwich
that
in
we
for their
have many
seconds.
years in the future.
Close to the
But do
surface
we?
here, the green side
If we
rough.
go to the hospital and the doctor tells us that we have 1 week to live, what are we going to do? As we have said before, we have 2 choices. One is to suffer because we are going to die, and to tell everyone, for me, I am going to die, and really
This
create a
putt
huge
coming
drama.
up is for birdie.
The other choice is to
Okay,
use
Henny,
every moment to
what's
be
he looking
happy,
at with this
to do
putt?
what we really
This one's
enjoy
13
doing.
feet from the cup.
If we only have 1 week to live, let's enjoy life. Let's be alive. We can say,
Always nice to
I'm
hold
going
those
to
for
be
a birdie.
myself.
Gotta like it.
No
Get
longer
2
am
in
I
a
going
row.
to run my life trying
One
to
of the
please
most
other people.
photographed holes in all of the PGA
No
Tours,
longer
this
am I
downhill
going to
par
be
3
afraid of what they
third
think about
at
me.
Torrey Pines South.
What
I
do I
like it
care
when
what
they
others
move
think
this
if I
tee
am going
box
to die
up and
in
it's
1 week?
only a wedge, because
I'm
when
going
they
to
make
be
it a
myself.
5 iron or
The
more,
angel of
this
death can
thing
teach
gets
us to live
really
every day
difficult.
as if it
Firm
is the
green
last day of
actually
our
tilts
lives,
away
as
from
if
you
there may be
towards
no
the
tomorrow.
ocean. This is a
We
really
can begin
difficult
each
green
day
to
by
find.
saying, I am awake. I see the sun. I am going
Pretty
to
good
give my
shot there.
gratitude to the sun and to
Just
everything
about
and
8 feet
everyone,
left to the hole.
because I am still alive. 1 more day to be myself. That is the way I see life. That is what the angel of death taught me. To be completely open, to know that there is nothing to be afraid of. And of course I treat the people I love with love, because this may be the last
that would've
time
been
that
nice
I can
to
tell
make.
you how much I love you. I don't know if I am going to see you again, so I don't want to fight with you. What if I had a big fight with you and I told you
And
all
down
those
it
emotional
goes.
poisons that I have against you and
Currently
you die
2
tomorrow?
under for the tournament.
Oops. Oh my God, the judge will get me so bad.
The 4th hole
And
runs
I will
right
feel
along the
so
cliffs
guilty
here
for
of La
everything
Jolla,
that I told
and
you.
it's a very strong par
I
4.
will even
I
feel
love
guilty
this
for
hole.
not
Just take
telling
it
you
out
how
of those
much I love
bunkers
you.
on the right-hand side and
The
hit
love
yourself a
that makes
nice
me
little
happy
baby
is the
draw.
love that I
And
can
from
share
there,
with
you have
you.
probably one of the coolest
Why do I
green
need to deny
complexes,
that I love you?
I think, on the golf
It
course.
is not important if you
Really
love me
difficult
back.
to make birdie, and
I
actually
may
you're pretty
die
happy
tomorrow
making
or you
par.
may die
But I'm
tomorrow.
telling you what, sit there and
What
enjoy
makes
the
me
beauty of
happy
this
now
hole.
is to
It's a
let you
doozy.
know how much I love you. You can live your life this way. By doing so, you prepare yourself for the initiation of death. What is going to happen in the initiation of death is that the old dream that you have in your mind is going to die forever. Yes, you are going to have memories of the parasite, of the judge, the victim,
Yeah, a
and
quality
what you
shot
used to
from him.
believe.
He'll be pleased.
But the
Already had
parasite
a
will
few
be dead.
birdies today. This
That
for
is what is going to
another.
die in the initiation
And
of
he's
death,
down there.
the
You
parasite.
got a read?
I've got
It
it
is not
going
easy to
left
go
to
for the
right.
initiation of death because the judge and the victim will fight with everything they have. They don't want to die. And we feel we are the ones who are going to die.
Yeah,
And we
you
are
like the
afraid
look of
of
that
this
right
death.
off the blade. And
When
he
we live
moves
in
to
the dream
3
of the
under with
planet,
that one.
it is as if we are dead.
And stepping up the
Whoever
standings
survives
after
the
that effort.
initiation of the dead receives the
There's a real
most wonderful
premium
gift,
on your
the
tee shots
resurrection.
here at Torrey Pines South Course.
To
Keeping
receive the
ball in
resurrection
fairways
is to
critical.
arise from the dead,
And that is
to be
illustrated
alive,
also by
to
the
be
par
ourselves
4
again.
fifth.
This is a
The
difficult
resurrection
driving
is to
hole.
be like a
Big, deep
child,
bunkers left
to be
and
wild and
right
free,
that must be
but with the
avoided.
difference.
From there, the second
The
shot plays
difference
a
is that we have
touch
freedom with wisdom
downhill,
instead of
green that
innocence.
tilts pretty good from left to
We are
right
able to
and
break our
back to front. It's a
domestication,
strong par
become
4.
free again, and heal our mind. We surrender to the angel of death, knowing that the parasite will die, and we will still be alive with a healthy mind and perfect reason. Then we are free to use our own mind and run our own life. That is what, in the Toltec way, the angel of death teaches us. The angel of death comes to us and says,
Oh,
"You see,
wonderful
everything
shot.
that
And a
exists
chance
here
for
is
birdie
mine.
at the fifth.
It is not yours. Your
A chance to
house,
sneak
your
inside
spouse,
top 20
your
in the
children,
standings
your
here with this
car,
putt.
your career, your money. Everything is mine, and I can take it away when I want to. But for now, you can
Well,
use
nicely done.
it. If we
Holds the putt
surrender
for
to the
back-to-back
angel of
birdies.
death, we will be happy
This guy
forever
is
and
putting
ever.
the lights out of it this week.
Why?
The six
Because the
hole's a
angel
really
of
cool
death
par
takes the
5.
past
Once you get
away
back
in
up
order
onto the
to
top
make
of the
it
hill
possible
here,
for life
you
to
want to try
continue.
and take on the corner
For every
of
moment
this
that is
par
past,
5.
the angel of
Taking it
death
down the
keeps taking the
right-hand
part that is
side
dead,
will
and
seriously
we keep living
reduce
in the
this
present.
par 5, but
The
you got to
parasite
avoid the
wants us
rough.
to
It
carry
can
the
get
past with
really
us,
nasty.
and that
From
makes it
there,
so
you
heavy to be
could
alive.
possibly run it up between
When
all
we
those
try to
bunkers.
live in the
There's
past,
one low
how can we
spot
enjoy
area
the
on the
present?
left-hand side of this green
When we
that
dream
will
of the
come into
future,
play
why
should you
must
get
we
your
carry the
distance
burden
control
of the
a
past?
little bit wrong.
When are we going to live in the
Rich, we
present?
know these days with the PGA
That
Tour,
is
the
what the
wraparound
angel of death
schedule,
teaches us to
the
do.
tour begins in the fall.
Chapter 7.
But really,
The
it's
new
felt at
dream.
the start of any new year
Heaven on
that
earth.
every time you come to Torrey
I want you
Pines,
to forget
the
everything
big
you have
stars
learned
come
in your
out to
whole
play. It
life.
feels like the
This
authentic
is the
start to the
beginning of a
season.
new
It
understanding,
certainly
a
does
new
that,
dream.
and I think that
The
the
dream
big
you are
name
living is your
players,
creation.
the accomplished players,
It is your
love
perception of
coming here to
reality that
Torrey
you can
Pines
change
because
at
it's
any
going
time.
to give them a gauge
You have the
of
power to
exactly
create
where
hell,
their game is
and you
at
have the
and
power
what they
to
need to
create
work
heaven.
on. Because you
Why
can't
not
go
dream a
around
different
either
dream?
the north or the south
Why
course
not use your
and
mind,
geek it around.
your
You
imagination,
have to be on
and
your
your
game. You
emotions
have to
to
drive
dream
the ball
heaven?
well. Your iron
Just
play has
use
to be
your
spot on,
imagination,
and
and
your
a
short game
tremendous thing
better
will
be
happen.
sharp, because if not,
Imagine
you're going
that
to
you have
shoot
the
a
ability to see the
million.
world with
Both of
different
these
eyes,
golf courses are
whenever you
very
choose.
challenging, but they're
Each
fair.
time you
And I
open
think
your
that's
eyes,
what
you
the
see the
players love
world
about
around
it.
you in
If
a
you're in a
different way.
good zone mentally
Close your
and
eyes
everything
now,
is going well
and then
physically,
open them
you
and look
can produce
outside.
a 64 or 65.
What you will
But if
see
you're
is
hitting it
love
poorly
coming out
and
of
you're
the
not thinking
trees,
squarely, I'm
love
telling you
coming
what,
out of the
77s
sky,
and 78s come
love
into the
coming out
equation
of the
real
light.
quick.
You will perceive
How
love
close
from
was that to
everything
going
around you.
down?
This is
Look
the
how
state of
far.
bliss. You perceive love
Anything
directly
in
from
5 feet
everything,
would be handy from
including
here.
yourself and other humans. Even when humans are sad or angry, behind these feelings you can see that they are also sending love. Using your imagination and your new eyes of perception, I want you to see yourself living a new life, a new dream, a life where you don't need to justify your existence, and you are free to be who you really are. Imagine that you have permission to be happy and to really enjoy
Starts
your
off
life.
looking good.
Gotta like
Your
the look of
life
this
is
one.
free of conflict with
Get in
yourself
some.
and with others.
Yes,
Imagine
the putt
living your
drops.
life without
Beautiful.
fear of expressing your dreams. You know what you want, what you don't want, and when you want it. You are free to change your life the way you really want to. You are not afraid to ask for what you need, to say yes or no to anything or anyone. Imagine living
And
your
he
life
now
without
moves
the
to
fear of
5
being
under
judged
for the
by
tournament.
others. You no longer rule your behavior according to what others may
Over
think
to
about
7
you.
here at Torrey Pines South.
You are
Rich, a
no
great
longer
par 4 that
responsible for
requires good
anyone's
positioning off
opinion.
the tee as well.
Lovely
You have
tee
no
shot
need
here.
to
Just take it
control
at those
anyone,
bunkers on the
and no one
left-hand side and
controls
hit
you.
yourself a little baby fade.
Imagine
From
living
there,
your
you've
life
got a green
without
that sits
judging others.
above you slightly
You can
and also
easily forgive
chases
others
away
and
from
let
you
go of any
just a
judgments
little
that you
bit,
have.
believe it or not. This is
You
a
don't have the
really
need to be
good,
right, and
strong
you don't
par
need to
4.
make anyone
Par's a
else wrong.
great score.
You respect yourself and everyone else, and they respect you in return. Imagine living without the fear of loving and not being loved. You are no longer afraid to be rejected, and you don't have the need to be accepted. You can say, I love you, with no shame or justification. You can walk in the world with your heart
That's a
completely
super
open
shot.
and not be
That's
afraid
another
to be
green in
hurt.
regulation.
Well, the
Imagine
practice
living
is
your life
paying
without
off
being
here,
afraid
Luke.
to take a
This
risk and to
player
explore life.
is relentless.
You are not afraid to lose anything. You are not afraid to be alive in the world, and you are not afraid to die. Imagine that you love yourself just the way you are. You love your body just the way it is, and you love your emotions just the way they are. You know that you are perfect just as you are. The reason I ask you to imagine these things is because they are
And
all
this one
entirely
is for his
possible.
par.
You can live in the state of grace, the state of bliss, the dream of heaven. But in order to experience this dream,
Oh, Rich, is
you
there
must
anything more
first understand
disappointing
what
setting
it
up
is.
what you think is a
Only
makeable
love has
birdie
the
putt,
ability to
but
put you in
unfortunately
that
not
state
able
of
to
bliss.
convert?
Opportunity
Being in bliss
lost,
is
and
like
one they
being
needed
in
to take
love.
advantage of, sitting just
Being
two
in
back
love
of the
is like
lead.
being in bliss. You are floating in the clouds. You are perceiving love wherever you go. It is entirely possible to live this way all the time. It is possible because others have done it, and they are no different from you. They live in bliss because they
this
have
one's
changed
right
their
down the
agreements
pipe.
and are dreaming a different dream. Once you
Ooh,
feel what it
almost went
means to
in.
live in a state of bliss, you will love it.
Just 9
You will
feet
know
remaining
that
to the
heaven on
hole.
earth is true,
This
that
is
heaven
for
truly
birdie.
exists. Once you know that heaven exists, once you know it is possible to stay there, it's up to you to make the effort to do it. 2,000 years ago, Jesus told us about the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of love, but hardly anyone was ready to hear this. They said, "What are you talking about? My heart is empty. I don't feel the love that you are talking about. I don't feel the peace that you have. You don't have to do this." Just imagine that his message of love is possible, and you will find that it is yours. The world is very beautiful and very wonderful. Life can be very easy when love is your way of life. You can be loving all the time.
Gee, that's
This
good
is your
playing.
choice.
6 birdies in a round.
You may not have a reason to love, but you can love because to love makes you so
And
happy.
now he'll move to 6
Love
under
in
for the
action
tournament.
only produces
And after that
happiness.
good play, moving
Love
up
will
the
give you inner
leaderboard.
peace.
The
It
par
will
5
change your
9 is
perception
a
of everything.
monster over 600
You
yards,
can
Rich.
see everything with the eyes
Challenging,
of
to
love.
say the least.
I think the
can be
challenging
aware
part
that
about
there
it,
is
Luke,
love
is it's
all
just
around
straight away. You have to hit a
When
straight
you
tee
live this
shot,
way,
a
there
straight
is no
second
longer a
shot, and a
fog in
straight
your mind.
third shot to find the green in
The
three.
toad has gone
It
on a
really is
permanent
just
vacation.
that simple and straightforward.
This
The
is what
green
humans
does
have
have
been
2
seeking
tiers
for
on it,
centuries.
but for the most part, Luke,
For
it's an
thousands of
inviting
years, we have
third
been
shot.
searching for happiness.
This is his second shot.
Happiness is the lost
Just a
paradise.
stroke behind the leader.
Humans have worked so hard to reach this point, and this is part of the evolution of the mind. This is the future of humanity. This way of
Yeah,
life is
going
possible,
for it in 2.
and it's in your
Okay.
hands.
He wants to win.
Moses called it the Promised Land.
A big
Buddha called it
opportunity
Nirvana.
with an eagle putt.
Jesus called it heaven,
Henny,
and the Toltecs
you've
call
had the
it a
chance
new
to have a
dream.
look over this one?
Setting up this
Unfortunately,
putt
your
26
identity
feet
is
from
mixed
the
with the
cup.
dream of the planet. All of your beliefs and agreements are there in the fog. You feel the presence of the parasite and believe it is you. This makes it difficult to let go, to release the parasite, and create the space to experience love. You are attached to the judge, attached to the victim. Suffering makes you feel safe because you know it so well. But there is really no reason to suffer. The only reason you suffer is because you choose to suffer. If you look at your life, you will find many excuses to
Asking
suffer,
for a big
but a
break
good
on this
reason
one.
to suffer you will not find.
So close.
The same is
3
true for
feet to go here
happiness.
to the hole.
The
Looking
only
for another
reason you are
birdie
happy
here.
is because you choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice, and so is suffering.
Oh, what a round this is.
Maybe we cannot escape from
7
the destiny
birdies
of the
today.
human, but we have a
Back-to-back
choice.
birdies moving the
To
right
suffer our
direction there,
destiny,
Luke.
or to enjoy our destiny.
Finds himself in a share
To
of the
suffer,
lead.
or to
Gotta
love and
like
be
it,
happy.
moving up the leaderboard,
To
never
live
a
in
bad
hell,
thing.
or to live in heaven. My choice is to live in heaven. What is yours? Prayers. Please take a moment to close your eyes, open your heart, and feel all the love that comes from your heart. I want you to join with my words in your mind and in your heart to feel a very strong
Well, with a pocket
connection
full of
with love.
FedEx Cup points over the last
Together,
half a
we are
dozen
going to
starts
do
or
a
so,
very
this
special
player
prayer
certainly
to
has been
experience a
delivering
communion with
consistent
our Creator.
results and pushing for wins all
Focus
winning,
your
Rich.
attention on
Do you
your
expect that to
lungs,
continue
as
here
if
this week?
only your lungs
We've
exist.
seen this player
Feel
time
the
and
pleasure
time
when your
again
lungs expand to fulfill the
contend
biggest
for
need of the human
tournaments,
body.
and it is no surprise to see him
Take a
doing
deep
it
breath
once
and feel the
again
air
this
as it
week. It
fills
is
your
so
lungs.
fun watching this player.
Feel how
They're
the
in
air is
top
nothing
form.
but love.
6
Notice
feet
the connection
remaining to
between
the
the
cup.
air and the lungs, a connection of love. Expand your lungs with air until your body has the need to expel that air. And then exhale and feel the pleasure again. Because when we fulfill any need of the human body,
What a
it
performance.
gives us
8
pleasure.
birdies on the card.
To breathe gives us
Our
much
current
pleasure.
leader is enjoying a
Just to
one-shot
breathe
lead.
is enough for us to always be happy.
There aren't too many
to
easy
enjoy
holes
life.
here at Torrey Pines South,
Just
but the
to be
course
alive
certainly
is
gets
enough.
tougher as we head to the par 3
Feel the
11th.
pleasure to be alive.
This green
the
from the
pleasure
back
of the
tee
feeling
looks
of love.
minuscule.
Prayer for
There's
freedom.
just not a lot
Today,
of room on the front of
Creator
it.
of the
Even the
universe,
back
we ask
section,
that
which
you
it
come to
does get a
us
little
and
bit
share
wider,
with us
it
a strong
still is
communion of
very
love.
small. A massive
We
shelf,
know that your real
top
name
left.
is
If you
love.
get it up
That
there,
to have a communion
happy
with
days
you
for
means to
you.
share the
If
same
not,
vibration,
just find
the
the
same
green,
frequency that
two-putt,
you are.
make three,
Because you are
move
the
on.
only thing that exists in the universe.
This would be a momentum saver here, getting
Today,
this up and down.
help us to be like you are, to love life, to be loved. Help us to love the way you love, with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgment. Help us to love and accept ourselves without
I
any
thought that
judgment.
one was going in.
Because when we judge ourselves, we find
Lovely
ourselves
opportunity
guilty
to save par
and we
here.
need to be punished.
Penny, take us through the
Help
break
us
on
to
this
love
putt.
everything you create
Veering ever so
unconditionally,
slightly right to
especially other
left.
human beings, especially those who live around us, all our relatives and people whom we try so hard to love. Because when we reject them, we reject ourselves, and when we reject ourselves, we reject you. Help us to love others just the way they are with no conditions.
Oh, that looks
Help
like a
us to
pure
accept
stroke.
them the way they are, without
And after
judgment.
that hole,
Because
he's
if we
ahead by
judge them,
just a
we
solitary stroke.
find them guilty, we
Rich,
blame
in your
them,
opinion, is
and
this
we
the
have the
hardest
need to
par
punish
4 on
them.
the entire West Coast?
If
Today,
it's not,
clean
it's
our hearts of any
certainly
emotional
top two.
poison
The
that
only
we
other
have.
one that I could
Free our
think that it
minds
would
from
come
any
close to
judgment
is
so that we
probably the
can live in
10th at
complete
Pebble,
peace
especially
and
with the
complete
tee
love.
box all the way back
Today
there.
is a very
It's
special
just,
day.
it doesn't have the
Today we
scenery,
open our hearts
but
to
it
love again
has
so
the
that we can tell
demand that
each
you
other,
can't
I love
geek
you,
a drive out
without
there
any fear,
and expect
and really
anything
mean
good
it.
to happen, and you certainly
Today,
can't afford
we offer
really to have a
ourselves to
bad
you.
iron shot
Come
either.
to us,
It's
use
just
our
a
voices,
strong
use
par
our
4.
eyes,
Again,
use our
different look
hands,
than
and
what you
use
have
our
at 10 at
hearts to
Pebble,
share ourselves
but
in a
it's the
communion of love
difficulty is
with
just the
everyone.
same.
Today, Creator, help us to be just like you are. Thank you
Straight
for everything
at
that we receive
it.
this day, especially for the
Oh, that
freedom
was
to
so
be who
close to
we
going
really are.
in.
Amen.
Putting for birdie.
Prayer for love. We are going to share a beautiful dream together, a dream that you will love to have all of the time.
Look at him just
In
surging
this
ahead
dream,
at the
you
top
are
of
in
the
the middle of a
leaderboard.
beautiful, warm, sunny
And just
day.
checking back in with the standings,
You hear
and
the
he
birds,
continues to
the
lead
wind,
this tournament.
and a little
Look at
river.
him.
You walk
13
toward
is
the
a
river.
really cool par 5, the
At
first
the
of
edge of
two
the
in the
river is
inward
an old
6
man in
holes here, but
meditation,
you've got to know
and
your
you see
drive
that
if you
out
want
of
to get
his
there in
head
2.
comes a beautiful
This
light of
is
different colors.
one of the most interesting
You try
par
not to bother him,
fives you'll ever
but he
play.
notices
If
your
you hit a good
presence
tee shot,
and
find the
opens his
fairway,
eyes.
and you have the opportunity
He
to
has the
reach,
kind of
then
eyes that are
happy
full of
days.
love
But if
and
you
a big
don't
smile.
find the fairway or can't
You
reach,
ask him
now
how he
you've
is
got to
able
lay
to
up
radiate
into a
all
low
that beautiful
area
light.
where you're going to have a third
You
shot
ask him if
that's
he can teach you to do
absolutely
what he is doing.
blind. This
He
third shot
replies that
could be one of the most
years
difficult
ago, he
third
asked the
shots
same question of
on
his
the
teacher.
PGA Tour, bar
The
none.
old man begins to tell you his story. My teacher opened his chest and took out his
Wonderfully
heart,
played.
and he took a beautiful flame from his heart. Then he opened my chest, opened my heart, and he put that little flame inside it. He put my heart back in my chest, and as soon as my heart was inside me, I felt intense love, because the flame he put in my heart was his own love. That flame grew in my heart and became a big, big fire, a fire that doesn't burn, but purifies everything that it touches. And that fire touched each one of the cells of my body, and the cells of my body loved me back.
How close was that to going
I
in?
became one with my body,
Oh, these are
but
good for
my
the
love
momentum.
grew
These
even
ones
more.
right on 8 feet.
Good
That
stuff
fire
today,
touched every
especially the
emotion of
short
my
game
mind,
has been
and all the
really
emotions
sharp today.
transformed into a strong and intense love. And I loved myself completely and unconditionally. But the fire kept burning, and I had the need to share my love. I decided to put a little piece of my love in every tree, and the trees loved me back, and I became one with the trees. But my
Gets that
love
one to
did
go
not stop.
down, and
It
that's
grew more.
back-to-back birdies.
I put a
Gotta
piece
like
of love
it.
in every
2 in a
flower,
row. He's
in the
feeling it.
grass, in the earth, and they loved me back, and we became one. And my love grew more and more to love every animal in the world. They responded to my love, and they loved me back, and we became one. But my love kept growing and
Around
growing.
110 yards to go.
I put a piece of my love in every crystal, in every stone in the ground, in the dirt, in the metals, and they loved me back, and I became one with the earth. And then I decided to put my love in the water, in the oceans, in the rivers,
This
in the
one
wind,
looks to be
in
heading
the snow.
towards the green,
And they loved me back, and
and
we
he's hit
became
that
one.
inside the range.
And still my
Nearly
love grew
doesn't
more
get
and more.
any better than that.
I
Amazing
decided to give
shot.
my love to the air.
Always nice to have a birdie putt.
I felt a strong communion with the earth, with the wind, with the oceans, with nature, and my love grew and grew. I turned my head to the sky, to the sun, to the stars, and put a
He's
little
making
piece
this
of my
look
love
easy.
in every
Keeps
star,
surging
in the
ahead.
moon, in the sun, and they loved me back.
15 works slightly back inland
And I
here at
became
Torrey
one with
Pines
the
South,
moon
but
and
you
the
still
sun
need
and the
plenty of
stars.
focus.
And my love
Why are
kept
the
growing
straightaway
and
par fours the
And I
hardest
put a little
ones? We
piece of
have
my
another
love in every
one
human,
right
and I
here.
became
It's
one with
just
the whole
straight
of
away with
humanity.
the drive, nothing
Wherever
fancy
I
about
go,
it. You find the
whoever
fairway
I
and you're
meet,
left
I
with
see
another
myself
long
in their
iron
eyes,
second shot.
because I
You
am
got
a
a
part
front
of
right
everything,
bunker that should see
because I am
plenty of
love.
action. The
And
one
then
on
the
the
old
left,
man
though,
opens
that's
his
a
own
big no-no
chest,
spot, as
takes
this
out his
green does
heart with
tilt
that
pretty good
beautiful
from back
flame
to front.
inside, and he puts
This
that
shot
flame
from
in your
about
heart.
190 yards
And
out.
now that love is growing inside of you. Now you are one with the wind, with the water, with the stars, with all of nature, with all animals, and with all humans.
Oh, that is
You
brilliant.
feel
Look at
the
this
heat
one.
and the light emanating from the flame in your heart.
Outstanding approach shot.
Out of your head shines a
Fantastic
beautiful
look
light of
upcoming.
different colors. You are radiant with the glow of love.
Here's a chance to get to 12
Thank
under.
you, Creator of the universe,
What are we looking at
for the
for
gift
this
of
putt,
life you
Henny?
have given.
Setting up this putt 10
Thank you for
feet
giving
from the
me
cup.
everything that I have ever truly needed. Thank you for the opportunity to experience this beautiful body. This
Rolling end over end.
Thank you
This
for
putt's
living
looking
inside me
great.
with all your love,
How
with your
good was
feeling
that
and your
putt?
spirit, with your
And now
care
that
and
finds
grace.
him in first place.
Thank you for using my words, for using my eyes, for using my heart to share your love wherever I go.
16th,
I
the
love
last
you
of the
just the
par
way you
threes
are.
on this
And
golf
because I am
course,
your
but it's not
creation,
an easy one.
I love myself
This is
just the way I am.
underrated difficult.
Help me
The
to keep the
green
love and
is
the peace in my
big
heart,
in size,
and to
but it
make that love
plays
a new way
awfully
of life,
small because
that
there's
I may
really
live and
small
love the rest of
sections
my
to
life.
this green. The front, the back
Amen.
right, and the top left. If you find the right section, job well done. If you don't, it's going to be a difficult two-putt to say the least.
16 feet to the hole.
A really good look at birdie.
Henny's down there. You got a read?
You gotta love a downhill left-righter.
Not a bad effort right there from long range. Big breaking putt. He just didn't quite read it right, but it'll be an easy par.
The putt drops, and we're moving on. And our leaders managed to build a 5-shot buffer over the field. The penultimate hole at Torrey Pines South is not a long par 4, but the danger lurks everywhere.
They moved this fairway to the left alongside the canyon a few years ago, which really enhanced the beauty, but also the fear of this hole. You have to challenge the left-hand side because the bunker down the right is really no good. From there, the green, it tilts from back to front, mostly with a really low section over there on the left-hand side. However, it still is a promising birdie opportunity.
Playing this one about 130 yards out. Well struck. A chance for a birdie if this goes down. That's impressive. He just keeps extending his advantage over the field. So no change on the leaderboard for this player after that hole. And the finishing hole here at Torrey Pines South, one of the more famous on the PGA Tour, site of so many of Tiger's wonderful victories. Par 5, you can get there in 2.
You can, but you have to thread your drive in between those 4 fairway bunkers that line the fairway. From there, now you have to think, do I want to take on this flag with the bunkers right, bunkers left, and certainly the water in front? It's a daunting second shot, but if you're brave enough to take it on, then you could reap massive rewards.